Yeah, we are. We're goddamn live, D'Anthony.
Fucking mom's live.
Yeah, your dad's live. Your mom's live. Your fucking grandkids are live. I'd tell you what, Dan, it's that time of the year. It's that time of the year where the desperation really, really seeps in.
Desperation for who? You're talking about cuffing season?
Cuffing season is about to start.
Yeah. Everybody's looking for some reg puss.
Correct. We get a photo of Bert Koontz. Obviously one of our beef fries. It is already snowing in Wyoming.
Yes.
It is cuffing season has already started. If you live in Wyoming, congratulations, cuff up. You get a couple days early off. I'm talking about desperation in fantasy football, my dude. I told you guys, hang tight. If you got a 1-4 team, it's not over. It's not over until you get 1-6. Then it's fucking over. You're not going to win 6 in a row, probably.
People say that it's not over until the fat lady sings. I don't understand what that has to do. Is that about an opera?
Adele is skinny now, so I don't know who they're talking about. Adele is thin. She's out on the town. She's looking nice. So it's not her. But these desperation fantasy trades, I was guilty of one myself, and I went for broke.
What'd you do?
The reason why I bring this up, I just got one right now. It just popped up on my screen. I'm in like 6 leagues, right? One of them's a celebrity league I've been in for fucking forever. And you know who's in it? I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. Ernie Reyes. Remember the...
Ernie Reyes.
Yeah. Our producer, Jamie, just laughed.
Ernie.
He was like my favorite as a... Yeah, The Last Logical Night. He was one of my favorites as a kid, and I used to watch that TV show. And I was like...
Oh, the dude that was... he was the fucking main protagonist in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Yes. And then he was on that one movie with his little brother, or the guy was his little brother, and they were like princes or some shit.
Yeah. So what happens every year is they...
Good to hear he's still alive, by the way.
I know, right? So they swap people in and out, so you don't... somebody has a gig overseas or whatever it is, right? You swap people in and out, try to keep the league going. And I looked at this trade, and I was like, oh, shit, that's Ernie Reyes. That's really funny, man.
Mm-hmm. Was he trying to trade you turtles for something?
I might as well have. Somebody else just try to trade me this, right? This is my team. He wants Le'Veon Bell, Julio Jones, and Drew Brees for James Conner, who is out. I host a fucking sports show. You don't think I know James Conner left the game in his fucking arm in a sling last night? You cocksucker. This isn't Ernie Reyes, by the way, so don't go after Ernie Reyes. This is somebody else. Odell Beckham Jr. He's had about 4 points this year.
Yeah. He's disappointing in more ways than just fantasy, by the way.
Oh, yeah. In the bedroom, everywhere else.
I don't know about that.
In a second.
He's probably got a hog, actually, but he wears big shoes is all I know.
I haven't seen him with a lady. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, does he like dudes?
No.
That's fine, as long as he's got a big hog on him.
He's too pretty,
Well, we should find out.
We should find out. And then Kyler Murray, Kyler Murray got benched last week, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. But let's just break this down out of desperation. Kyler Murray versus Drew Brees. Not one goddamn prayer on this earth, my man. I started Drew Brees this week. 3 touchdowns, 376 yards. The Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm screaming this from the rooftops. And that was without Kamara last week. Still no Jared Cook.
Yeah.
Still throwing to Michael Thomas 90 times a game. Imagine when Kamara comes back with his team. Fuck. It's sexy. By the way, there was a bet that late night bet. Sometimes I'm ashamed of bets, and I don't share them all on the show. One was last night. I took a 6-point teaser on that game. It was the grossest game I've ever bet on my entire life.
What, the Steelers and Dolphins?
Yes, and I posted it in Drinkin Bro Sports on Facebook. It's a private group. Join if you're not a member. It's worth it because we talk shit and we post our live bets, including our shameful ones. I won it. I brought it down to -8, and I bet the under, but it kicked up to 49.5. I can't believe they won because the Steelers looked like shit in the first half. But that being said, I watched James Conner get butt-fucked in that. And Julio Jones versus Odell Beckham Jr. Here's the thing. Falcons are shitty. Yeah. Absolutely shitty. But Julio Jones has got great numbers. He's not getting in the end zone. That motherfucker's getting 10 catches and 150 yards a game, and he's still Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley's still Calvin Ridley. Matt Ryan is still Matt Ryan on that team. I don't know how they're that shitty, but fantasy-wise, they're great. Don't trade these fucking guys. And then Le'Veon Bell versus James Conner. Look, again, sling. Le'Veon Bell might get traded here in about an hour. We'll see. We'll be live on air. We'll know by the time that happens. They are shopping him around now. If he goes to a banger of a team, Wink, wink, Houston Texans. That would be awesome. Wink, wink. Buffalo
how long
Bills.
How long is their running back out? Is he done? There's their first string guy
for Houston.
Yeah,
Houston's got Carlos Hyde, and they're still using Duke Johnson. So they're still using Cleveland's old backfield from last year. Is it good enough? Probably not. But with the weapons around there,
I thought Hyde was out.
No, Hyde's playing.
Oh, okay,
yeah, he's still alive. This is this guy's desperation trade, which in no way, shape, or form is going to happen. But I made one of my own, and I'm going to share it with you live on air. I fucking my 1-4 team in the Cutthroat Killers League is now 4-4. I've won 3 straight there. Got a couple people healthy. Pat Mahomes might come back this week. My homie might come back this week. But in the Underdogs League, this is where I was 1-5, and I had to sell the fucking farm, right? And it paid off last week. So I went after the best player in the league. I went after Christian McCaffrey, knowing that he averages 27 points a game. And what I did in that was I looked for somebody who needed a lot of help, and I traded. This was because I have a pretty deep bench in this league. Like I have Lamar Jackson, so I'm going to start him. I had Aaron Rodgers on my bench. Traded Aaron Rodgers. The one I didn't want to give up, which I had to get McCaffrey, was Darren Waller, who's been the best tight end in fantasy football this year for the Raiders. But
tight ends aren't as shallow as we thought they were going to be. There's a lot of good ones out there.
There's some okay ones. It's been a down year for tight ends. That Goddard guy has taken over for Ertz. I saw him on the waiver wire, so I said fuck it and picked him up. He had a nice little touchdown for me this weekend, and then I threw in somebody else that was kind of minor, but I sold half my team essentially for that. Payoff worked. I'm now 3-5 and coming back. And what I'm finding is going through these standings in most of these leagues, man. You can't see it on the screen probably here, but every fucking league I'm in, second place in most of these leagues is 4-4. Everybody's going through the same injuries and problems you are. And look, as long as you're not fucking 1-6 at this point or 1-7, stay the course, man. 3-4, 4-4, you're in the mix, man. Even fucking 2-5, you're in the mix, brother. Or 3-5, 3-5, you're still in the mix, man. So keep going. But you're gonna get a lot of desperation trades this time of year because usually people's waiver wires kick out week 10. Welcome to Drinkin' Bros Sports Companion Show, by the way. D'Anthony, brought to you by bookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your deposits all the way to $1,000. We've been betting the shit out of them.
Cardinals acquire running back Drake from Dolphins.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake traded. Yeah,
nice.
So he's there. Chase Edmonds is out. He is hurt. And David Johnson, I don't know if he's out for the year, man. This guy hasn't played more than a series or two the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So they must know something we don't. And the Cardinals, technically on paper, still have a shot for the playoffs. So they're still trying to make moves. Dolphins are trading everyone away and trading for everyone. They just got, I feel bad for Talib Akui. What's his fucking name?
I have no idea, but he's not going to be there anymore.
No. Rams just traded him for a pick. And
by the way, did you know that the Patriots defense in fantasy is averaging 20.6 points.
They have the best defense in football right now.
Fantasy-wise.
Some would say, well, in real life-wise too. But some would say it's because
technically
they've played Alabama's schedule.
Yeah, their schedule's been bad. So I see a couple of leagues I'm in. Actually, both of the leagues I'm in, the person that's at the top of the league in my division has the Patriots defense. That's the thing that's making the difference for them.
Correct.
And that shit's going away soon.
Well,
just so you know.
We'll see. A good defense and a good tight end. If you're ahead of everybody else, or an all-star QB is a win-win. There's been a couple guys who've been solid all year. If you're going up against McCaffrey and anybody's got a halfway decent team, you're pretty much fucked week to week. When Mahomes is healthy, good luck with that. But if you have a good defense and a solid tight end, Waller's been a fucking baller, dude. That's been a fun year with him. And then, dude, Michael Thomas. Good luck going against Michael Thomas this year. Jesus Christ. That guy is on fire. Another Another game of 11 catches with that fucking guy. It's time we might start having to mention him as the MVP of the league.
When's the last time that a wide receiver was MVP?
I can't remember it. Maybe Jerry Rice, but I don't know. It's pretty spectacular. It's pretty spectacular to watch. The Saints with Drew Brees out there, sexiest team in the league. It took some shit this week. I'm gonna shout this guy's name out. Terry Burke. You hear me, Terry Burke? He put a post in Drinkin' Bros Sports, again on the private Facebook page, and he goes, "Why is so much hate for the 49ers, man? They're fucking undefeated. You've played a child's schedule. You've played children. Your quarterback has yet to throw for just one fucking game. One game for an undefeated team of over 300 yards. In today's NFL, I can't remember something like that since Trent Dilfer was the quarterback of Flacco, maybe? Yeah. Flacco or Dilfer of remember that Buccaneers team that won the title? It was disgusting to watch. Even the Super Bowl was shitty.
Yeah, it was. I think didn't Mike Allstott break his neck in that Super Bowl, and then he played for 2 more seasons after that?
Allstott didn't get
By the way, no wide receiver has ever won.
No shit.
Ever.
I'm gonna put my tip of the cap. I'm gonna put my thing in there because look, it's him or Christian McCaffrey at this point. But McCaffrey's on a losing team, so I don't know. Well,
it's quarterbacks and running backs. Other than Alan Page won it as a defensive tackle.
Okay.
And Lawrence Taylor in '86, obviously, you remember that one. Otherwise,
you might be able to give it to Nick Bosa this year. Jesus Christ,
he's not fucking around.
That guy's ripping anuses out.
Yeah, he's
handing them to the doctor.
It's a really delicate process for something that sounds so violent.
Yeah,
like you really have to get your hook in just the right way. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you rip the anus like this way, like you break it like this
seams,
to get the whole thing off. Yeah. You've really got to get in there and then twist. It's almost like drinking the Das Boot. You have to turn it at the end.
Yeah.
So it's that same kind of motion. And if you don't do it just right, get your hand all bloody, you don't want that. You don't even get an asshole to take home with you.
No, you don't.
But Bosa's got a necklace now just with assholes on it.
He should. God damn, that guy's good.
It looks like a bunch of calamari.
Him, his brother, it's great. That whole Bosa family.
Yeah.
They should treat them like they do the Kentucky Derby winners and just keep pumping sperm out of that guy's balls, out of the dad's balls.
J.J. Watt's brother is
I know.
in contention for Defensive Player of the Year right now.
Great for the Steelers.
Yeah. And so is Devin Bush from Michigan. I hate to say that because I hate Michigan, by the way, but he is lighting it up in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's doing great.
And it's a shame about J.J. Watt, who's now out for the year. That was just announced. That guy's great for football. It sucks, man. Especially everything he does off the field. He could be the face of the NFL, but he can't stay healthy the last couple of years, and I don't know what they're going to do with that. Because that's a big boy contract he's under. But Terry Burke, back to you fuck. 49ers. So here's what I'm going to do. Because we went on a lengthy back and forth on Drinkin' Bros Sports. I'm going to make you an offer. If you believe in your team the way you say you do, you think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl, okay? I'm going to bet you $1,000 of my own money, and we're going to give it to the admins. We have great admins on the Drinkin' Bros Sports page, Anthony Danzler and Ethan Ward. I will give that money to hold back and forth on this, and I don't know anybody else who would do this. I don't know any other fucking host who would say, hey, here's $1,000 of my own money offline. Like, we can just do this offline. Mm-hmm. In real life, that way, we'll go old school, Kimbo Slice style, have somebody fucking hold it in the corner until it's over. If you believe in the 49ers, Terry Burke, we will bet $1,000 of our own money, and we'll give it to our admins on Drinkin' Bros Sports to hold on to it. Otherwise, don't fucking talk shit about the goddamn 49ers anymore. For real. I would put $1,000 of my own money on my team if I believed in them. If they were the greatest team in the world, I'd put $1,000 on them.
I don't think that he believes – I don't think any rational person believes they're going to go to the Super Bowl and win.
It would be a sure bet, though, if you believe in your team, right?
No.
So
I don't agree with that.
Challenge is up to you, Terry Burke. We'll see what happens.
I mean, they're going to make the playoffs because they're 7-0 at this point. They would have to have one of the biggest collapses in NFL history and a weak division to not make it at this point.
They'll make the playoffs. It's just, it's a weird. So I watched that entire Carolina game. Obviously, we live here. It was on Wild Wings when I took my children's after the game, after their soccer game, to go to Wild Wings. That game was on, so I ended up watching the entire thing. I've never seen a quarterback throw. What did he throw for? 185 yards in that game. They scored 51 points.
Let's see.
And Garoppolo, I believe, had like 185.
175.
Whoa, sorry, I gave you 10 extra yards, Jimmy G. I apologize. I didn't know you threw for 175 yards and you guys scored 51 fucking points.
Well, his quarterback rating was 111.
Well, that's what happens when you throw the ball 3 times.
Yeah,
so,
he threw it 22 times and he won the game. So what do you want?
Our JV quarterback averaged at least 28 throws a game.
Yeah, against JV talent.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. That's who the 49ers are playing, JV talent. Read their schedule. Who have they played this year?
Let's see. Yeah. So far.
Pull that up.
They played the Buccaneers.
Great.
Bengals.
Oh, even better.
Steelers.
I love their work.
The Browns.
Ooh, how they doing?
The Rams. Who they beat 27, by the way.
I'll give you the Rams. There's one victory.
The Redskins, but that was like a mud bowl game. I don't really.
Yeah, but it was the Redskins who were what 1-7, 1-6.
Have they won? They beat the Dolphins.
They beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, so 1-7.
There you go.
Yeah, but I don't really count that game.
No one should count that game
because it's the Redskins 1 and 2. It's that mud bowl is nasty, and they've played the Panthers obviously last week.
Yeah, with Kyle Allen as quarterback of the Panthers.
Well, Kyle Allen has had more success at quarterback than fucking Cam Newton has had.
Either way, man, Kyle Allen's not the dude who's gonna take you to all your hopes and dreams. He's not. He's not Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. He's not gonna make all your hopes and dreams come true. So that's your schedule right there.
Well, now they play the Cardinals next week.
That's another.
This weekend.
Where is that at?
It's in Arizona.
Yeah. And
then they play the Seahawks at home.
There you go.
On Veterans Day.
There you go.
That'll be a good game.
That'll be a good game. That'll be one. And by the way, Terry Burke, it's the same way I feel about the Patriots schedule. However, Tom Brady is very goddamn good. And he's very efficient.
Proven.
He's won a million fucking Super Bowls.
Then they play the Cardinals again.
Yeah, so they got the Cardinals 2 more times.
There's a good chance they'll be 9-1 by then.
I know.
And then they play the Packers, Ravens, and Saints in 3 consecutive weeks.
Oh, good luck with that. You're losing all 3 of those.
I don't think so. The Packers playing in San Francisco will probably lose because the Packers don't historically play very well there.
Right.
If it was in Green Bay, for sure the 49ers would lose because they can't play in the cold weather like that. The only respite the 49ers ever had playing in the cold weather was actually when fucking Mr. Neely McNeilface was playing because he grew up in Milwaukee, so he was used to the cold. Didn't affect him really. Yeah. But otherwise, they've sucked there. Then they play the Falcons. They'll torch them.
Yep.
Rams, and then at Seahawks. So you're looking at
the back half of that schedule is tough.
They might go 12-4.
That's what I think. 12-4,
maybe 11-5. If they lose that Packers game, which I don't think they will, I think they'll win that. I think they go 12-4, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
but they have the best defense in the league, I think.
The 49ers are this year's Bears. Remember the Bears team of last year?
Yeah, maybe.
Great defense.
I don't know about Jimmy
Weird
G.
quarterback. I don't either. He's like a Trubisky to me.
But there's been so many Super Bowls won by these quarterbacks that don't have any real fucking talent. Like they're game managers or they just get out of the fucking way or whatever it is that they do. There have been so many Super Bowls won by guys like that. It's weird.
To me, in the NFL this year, there's 3 elite teams and the rest are shit. And I might even say 2 elite teams. Simply because if we got to see if Mahomes comes back to life here.
Yeah.
But other than that, I got Saints out of the NFC and I got Patriots out of the AFC, and the rest of it in between is just like, it's been. I will say this because of the injuries and everything else that's going on. It's been a fun year to watch. It's been a terrible year to bet on. I mean, shit. Even this week, I picked most of the winners. However, the spreads were off.
Yeah.
And I'm still running about 55%, but the ratings are up because the games have been more competitive because you really don't know who's going to win. You take that Sunday night game, which I was not looking forward to, with the Packers and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The reason I wasn't looking forward to it is Mahomes was out, and I didn't know what Moore was going to do. Desperation move. I had to start him in another league. Thank God that paid off. But you had Aaron Rodgers throwing that ball into the back of the end zone over 9 dudes to win the game. It was a fucking blast of a game to watch. A blast. And you realize when Aaron Rodgers is forced to be Aaron Rodgers like that, how great he is. And you're like, man, do the Packers have a shot at it? Yeah. My only issue is if it has to go down to New Orleans. You and I have been in that stadium many, many times now.
Yep.
Good luck playing there.
It's tough.
Loud as shit, and those fans are nasty.
I think part of it is you can't understand what anybody's saying.
Yeah.
Because they all have that stupid-ass accent.
Yeah.
Look, guys, no offense. One of our very favorite drinking bros is down there, Tony Tamparello.
Yeah.
And he makes one of the best
MVP.
muffalata sandwiches I've ever had.
Love Tony, MVP.
But that Boomhauer shit, I can't understand anything you're saying, dude. It's like it sounds like you took your normal voice and put it in a fucking blender.
I know.
And then had sex with its cousin.
But I love New Orleans. I love going there. I enjoy Louisiana. I love LSU. It was fucking blast. That was one of our best times last year.
Yeah, that was great. But I think it throws the crowd off. Like normal people go there and they're like, are we in danger? What's going on here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're like, are these people going to rape us?
I like it.
Yes
I like that element to it, though.
Yeah, like you're John Voight in that situation. And you're just waiting for somebody to tell you to squeal like a pig.
Yeah, I don't feel like that going into Alabama Stadium. I just kind of feel like I'm with like old rich money.
Alabama, when I go there, yeah, it's partly that. And the other part is just like, where's the trailer park? It's somewhere. I can smell it.
You know, it's funny you say that. When I did all these football camps and I got recruited for all these colleges. One was Auburn, and I remember taking the visit, and they were like, "Well, if you're married, here's the married housing," and it was fucking trailer parks. And I was like, "Yo, man,
I would get divorced before I would live in that."
So here's what I said, because I think I was like 17 years old, 17, 18, whatever it was, and I go, "Hey, man, who's married before they go to college?" And the guy goes, "Oh, you'd be surprised." And I was like,
Jesus Christ.
Don't throw your life away at 17 and get married. Don't do that. I don't give a fuck what MTV tells you to do with Teen Mom and shit like that. And I know this is early. We typically don't do this early, but I want to get Dan and I's get fucked of the week off. I know this is Dan's thing, but I was so enraged by this that I want to join you.
Oh, you're talking about Odell Beckham Jr.?
I am.
Yeah,
I want to join you,
turd,
if I may, on this
please.
Get fucked of the week.
Yeah, he'll be the sports get fucked of the week for sure. I've got somebody else in mind for the fake news.
Yeah.
By the way, tune into the fake news Thursday. Tiffany Hart will be here.
Love Tiffany Hart. Freedom Fanny.
Franny.
Either way, she's
got
both.
Yes.
She's great.
Yeah,
love her. And it's her birthday, so we're going to have a fucking blast with her. But Odell Beckham Jr., you are the get fucked of the week. I'm watching the Browns-Patriots game, right? And I see fucking cheesy-ass Odell Beckham Jr. He used to think that motherfucker was cool. And then till last year, when it was just like when he faked that injury at the end of the year just so he didn't have to play for a shitty team. And then I was like, fuck you, dude.
It's the same thing with everybody. If you're winning and you're doing well, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Throw a fucking party after the game. Fucking wear weird shoes. Wear a $250,000 watch. But if you're getting your shit pushed in every week, shut the fuck up, you stupid bastard. Man, the people of Cleveland have waited so long for a good football team, and they were so hopeful going into the season. And you guys have been the biggest disappointment. That maybe that's worse. It would be better if they had the Dolphins team there, because at least everybody would be like, well, it's the fucking Browns, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
No, you got their hopes up, and then you fucked them.
And I the messages I get from people, I finally got a Cleveland Browns fan to send me a message that said, "Hey man, everything you said about Baker Mayfield before he got drafted is now turning out to be true, and I'm sorry." And I appreciate that message. If I had it saved, I would shout your name out. But Odell Beckham Jr. after the game, I'm watching this, and he's got this huge grin. He trots across the field over to Tom Brady, and he hands him this cleat that appears like it's like a Chewbacca foot or like an Ugg, like a nice Ugg. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I see this weird look on Baker Mayfield's face like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And he hands this cleat to Tom Brady. Even Tom Brady seemed uncomfortable with it. Or he's just like, hey, man.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield's standing there like,
we just got our ass kicked by these guys? And you're presenting him with a gift?
In a way, I get it, because these guys all, like, there's some guys like Fletcher Cox, for example, doesn't give two fucks about football. He doesn't care.
Right.
He does it because he's good at it.
Yeah.
Like, all he wants to do is sit at his house,
make money and shoot people.
Hang out with his wife, go out into the woods, shoot animals, chew tobacco, and drink beer. That's all he wants to do in life.
That's it.
But some of these guys are actually really, like, they're fans of the game. And when you run into Tom Brady in what might be his very last year, I get it. Like, people trade jerseys and stuff.
Yeah.
I get it. But maybe, like, just text him after the game. Be like, hey, could you sign? Don't do it at the 50-yard line after you get your fucking ass kicked.
Yeah, it's crazy. So he gives him a shoe that is made out of goat hair that has Tom Brady's thing on it, and he just says, "You're the greatest," and it's a fucking cleat.
That's kind of on the nose, isn't it?
Goat hair. What are we doing these days? You and I talked about this off air, and I think it's important to talk about it now in today's society and today's athletes. And LeBron, to me, is the one who started this shit of buddying up with everybody in the offseason. Like, no, dude. It used to be, I play for a different team. I fucking hate you. Yeah. Don't talk to me. Don't work out with me. We're not going on banana boats together. We're not sharing condoms with girls.
He was the first that I remember doing that. Because I think of the early 2000s. And it was
Kobe didn't fucking play with anyone.
No, I mean he was even in the mid 2000s. I'm thinking of like Tim Duncan, those guys that were the leaders in the NBA back then.
Right.
They didn't. Shaq, he would never have done this.
No, you know what those guys did, by the way?
They talked shit to each other like hardcore.
Talk shit to each other, and what Kobe and Shaq used to do was find the retired guys and go to them, like Hakeem Olajuwon and those guys, and be like, all right, cool, man. Now that you're gone, show me your shit. Like, and that was more of a respect thing. Now they're working out together, doing CrossFit, butt fucking in the rain.
Yeah.
This Odell Beckham style athlete and LeBron and all this other shit, like, doesn't help. Like, I like the Russell Westbrook thing the other night where they were like, man, how you feel going back to Oklahoma City? And he's like, no offense, man, but I'm playing a basketball game. I don't give a shit about these guys while I'm on the court. And that's the way it should be. But, you know, when you do something like this, especially in front of your quarterback who's struggling, like Baker Mayfield, nobody in the league is struggling like Baker Mayfield. I would rather have Fitzmagic on my team.
Anybody
than Baker Mayfield.
There are probably 15 or 20 backup quarterbacks in the league right now that would be better than Baker Mayfield.
Mandy Moore is pretty tall in real life.
Is she?
Yeah, she's about 5'11". I'd like to have Mandy Moore on my team. She's taller.
At least she's
taller
hot
than him in real life.
Well, she was hot. I don't know if she's still hot.
Still is hot.
Okay.
Still is hot.
How does she look in pads?
Don't know, but in a dress she looks great.
Hey, if you're out there, you see Mandy Moore, tackle her, see if she can take a hit, and then we'll get her into the NFL.
Mandy Moore's not about that life, dude. I think she'll take a swing at you. But look, this whole fucking shit, man, right in front of your struggling quarterback, giving Brady a goat shoe. That just says, hey, man, I'm not ready to play against you for a Super Bowl. I mean, we're mid-season too, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
It's not like this is fucking week 16 and it's it. You're out of it.
Yeah, and you're out of it. Yeah, you're still in the fucking hunt.
God damn it. Cleveland's got an easy schedule coming home too. If Baker Mayfield is somehow able to get his shit together, I could see the Browns stringing together 4 or 5 wins. Trying to go for an 8-8 or a 9-7. And let's face it, with all the injuries, that might be good enough to get a wild card. And instead, your star wide receiver, who's getting a gajillion dollars a year, is handing out animal shoes.
Yeah,
animal shoes to people.
So the rest of their schedule is Broncos, Bills, Steelers, Dolphins, Steelers, Bengals, Cardinals, Ravens, Bengals. The only 2 games that they should lose are the Ravens and maybe the Bills.
Yeah.
Like, technically they should beat the Bills, but they suck so bad they won't. So they should, for the rest of this year, go 6-2. That would put them, or 7-2. That would put them at 9-7 on the season.
Yeah.
That is probably a playoff team.
And your star wide receivers handing out animal shoes to people, dude.
Animal shoes.
Jesus.
What if
Christ.
he rode out there on an actual goat and had him sign the goat?
That's next at this point. When you're showing up on hot air balloons and all that other shit, like, yeah, you might as well go out on the goat and then let it fuck you.
Well, they play the Broncos next week. Is he going to bring something out for Von Miller or Flacco to sign?
No, because Flacco's out.
So Von Miller maybe.
Yeah.
He's going to bring out some stupid-ass glasses that Von Miller likes to wear.
That the fat boys used to wear from the 80s. And be like, hey, man, I got these vintage pair of fat boys glasses
or that fat dude from MasterChef. I can't remember his name.
No, the one that just died. Yeah.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. You know what he died of?
He's done being fat, probably.
Well, he was thinner than I think you remember. It was his guy Fieri's best friend, by the way, and that is the correct pronunciation.
I don't like that.
I don't either. But it was guy's Fieri's best friend, and he posted on Twitter all day long all this amazing food he was eating in some like New Orleans or something like that. He's like, this is the greatest day of my life. And he's like, this is heart attack food. And then he ends up having a heart attack that night.
Oh, of course he had a fucking heart attack.
But hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. You look at his Twitter, all the food he was eating is the best way to go out.
Graham
you can possibly
Elliott.
go out in your entire life.
No, I'm talking about Graham Elliott. He's still alive.
Yeah, they're all.
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah.
He was a French
Eddie's
chef.
best friend. He was great. He was great on all those cooking shows. My wife watches all this shit. Anywho's, it's time for us to be done with that, man.
You're talking about OBJ?
All
just
of it,
in general?
dude. Just athletes in general, man. This fucking pussy-ass NBA shit. Speaking of which, the NBA season has started. Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league. I'm done taking questions on that altogether.
It's early. Just relax.
No. Remember that? Did you watch that Lakers-Clippers playoff game we were talking about last week? And I say playoff game because that's exactly what it felt like.
Talking about game 1 of the season?
Yeah. It felt like a fucking playoff game. And I said LeBron and Anthony Davis would go off and go ham because, look, they didn't have Paul George. You know who didn't give a shit about that? Kawhi Leonard.
Well, he doesn't give a shit about anything.
Anything.
That's a good and bad thing about him.
Torched him.
Like, sometimes you need that fire, and you can see him. Like, he doesn't do heat checks, for example. Like, Steph Curry will pull up from 38 feet sometimes and nail that shit because he's just like, I think I can hit this.
Yeah.
But Kawhi Leonard is more like a robot. And I think it's the difference between drones and a pilot flying a plane. So sometimes it works. Like 90% of the time it's going to work out to have a drone because it's programmed.
Sure.
And then that other 10% doesn't work out. And I think that's where Kawhi has actually failed in the playoffs sometimes. But the times where he has a good supporting cast and people don't attack him directly, which I think is a mistake, he will always win that matchup.
I tell you what, looking at his supporting cast, I forgot about how great Patrick Beverley is. He took a charge against Anthony Davis.
Imagine when Patrick Beverley, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard are on the floor at the same time.
God.
You have the two best wing defenders and the best guard defender on earth, basically, on that team.
And without Paul George, he's still housed the Lakers. Kawhi on his own.
Like Draymond Green is still probably the best, not best all around defender, but he's the best. Like down low, plus he can go out on the wing defender. Yeah. But you can't really argue with Kawhi Leonard being the DPOY.
No.
Pretty much into perpetuity at this point.
Warriors look horrific, by the way.
Yeah. They haven't.
Jesus Christ.
They haven't even started to put it together yet.
People are coming down on Steph Curry of like, hey man, this is what happens when you don't have 19 All-Stars on the team. Give it some time.
They were winning games with him, Clay, and Draymond way before any of this other shit happened. They were lighting the league on fire.
They were, but they don't have Clay.
Yeah.
So it's just him and Draymond and D'Angelo Russell. But the funnest one to watch so far, you and I talked about this, Trae Young. God damn. That is the most entertaining motherfucker on the planet.
They actually play tonight at 7:30.
He's a blast to watch. He's shooting from the logo on average of 4 times a game.
Yeah. I think he's going to I think he'll come in for the season somewhere around 31 points per game, probably like 4 or 5 rebounds, and then probably 7 or 8 assists. That'd be my guess.
31. Who comes in at 31? Harden,
Westbrook,
Iverson,
maybe.
Westbrook. No,
not on the same team. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Whew. Kobe, once or twice. That's some big boy shit.
Steph Curry. I mean, look, that's why Steph Curry is getting shit, and he should be, because without Clay on the floor, he needs to be scoring 30 points per game, and he's not.
No.
He's not even taking enough shots to do that. So.
But because they're able to leave a great defender on him, usually that's spread out around the other guys, and they're not there.
They shouldn't be, though, because D'Angelo Russell is as good a shooter as Clay is. He doesn't get as hot, but percentage-wise, he is.
Yeah.
And
2 different types of players, though.
They're very different, but he actually moves better with the ball than Clay does. Clay moves better without the ball, so it's just different. They'll tune it up a little bit. I don't think they're going to have too many problems. Well, but Clay's not coming back, so even if they make it to the playoffs, they're not going to do shit this year.
No, they're not going to do anything. You can go ahead and write them off, in my opinion. This is the Falcons this year.
Yeah.
Warriors of the Falcons. Finkel is Einhart.
By the way, the Warriors have like him, Dennis Scott, a couple of those other. Actually, Dennis Scott was the first guy to hit 300 a season.
You know who else would be on that list in the Russell Westbrook category? It'd be Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, he wasn't a great shooter until later. I feel like.
But the triple doubles he would put up.
Triple doubles, yeah, like he would be torching it.
Tim is Hardaway. Let's get to the sponsors, shall we? Got a fucking huge show, man. College football shakeup this week is what I love. We'll give our honest opinions on what we think of the new polls here, because we're kind of close, I think. Kind of close. First and foremost, ghostbed.com/drinking bros. That 36-month pay-as-you-go program, people are starting to do it now. Everybody's like, this is fucking real. 36 months, no interest. Bed's like $38 a month, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
38.
Sexy. If you're a fucking military or first responder, by the way, 15% off on everything in the store. That's amazing. I'm sorry if I got fired up by that, because the civilian deals right now are massive, dude. For Halloween. Woo-hoo. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. You spin that wheel, you go on the site, and you get a bundle package. You get $9.99 off a bundle package, and that is fucking shock and awe. Blammo. Right in your gullets. Their sheets and pillows are second to none. That adjustable base has got USB ports, flashlights, everything, dude. Everything you need in this life is at ghostbed.com for a great night's sleep. There's nothing more important than that in today's world, except for some good pussy.
Yeah, but you got to have a ghost bed to fuck them on, too.
True.
Like, you don't want to. You definitely don't want to bring a girl home and fuck her on a fucking futon like an asshole.
Boy, I've done that numerous times. Go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros today.
Yes.
You just put on some Felix Grays. Are they one of our big guys?
They're one of them, yeah. Felix Gray and ExpressVPN are two.
Damn it. I love Felix Gray, by the way.
Yeah, we hung out with their rep in New York.
Those guys were just cool as shit.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do is to meet with the sponsors.
Same here. I actually enjoy it.
He's like, they're all the nicest people. They're like, hey, do you want some more glasses? I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll take some more. He's like, here, you can have my personal care. I'm like, no, dude, just mail them. I'm good. Yeah. Right now, I don't need them out at the bar at 2 a.m.
Because we go to Upfronts every year, and maybe we shouldn't be spilling the secret, but a lot of podcasts don't. And I think that is dumb. Because, look, man, sponsors put our show on the air. We got to pay all these employees. We have a studio, all this other stuff. They put our show on the air, and I'm grateful for it. Like, I'm grateful for all the sponsors that we have. And we try to pick ones that we love and that we think the audience will love, because we get hit up a lot. But we're very selective about them. And you were already wearing Felix Gray.
Yeah.
Therefore, look, they're a small company, man, that came out of nowhere. They developed these glasses that are fucking amazing, and everybody's wearing these goddamn things. And then when they hit us up and you were already wearing them, it was like a dream come true. And it was like, all right, sweet. Yeah. So when we got to go to New York and meet these guys, I was like, hey, shit, let's just hang out. I think we ended up going to like 2 or 3 bars with them.
Yeah, we did.
They're awesome. But look, Felix Gray, these glasses, man, look, if you're on the computer screen all day, and right now, Americans are averaging 11 hours in front of screens per day.
That's so when we say Americans are averaging 11 hours, that includes people who are like boomers, like 55 plus, who are spending 3 to 4 hours, which means your ass. I know me personally, it's more like 14 to 16 hours a day. And the blue light from these things fucks your eyes up.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps you from falling asleep. So there's something about blue light that's emitted by computer screens and phones. That's why you have night shift mode on your iPhone now, all your Apple products. But there's something about that light that makes your brain not be able to relax and fall asleep at night.
I think they did it on purpose. I honestly do.
Maybe. It could be a coincidence.
So you're just watching shit or buying shit or doing whatever on these. Because there's times, man, I'll stay up late at night on my goddamn phone just reading shit. And it's like, man, I'm tired. Why? Why am I still up right now? Can't put down the goddamn phone. Good thing is we got the Felix Grays. My wife wears them. You wear them. I wear them fucking, I would say 50-50 of the time. Just because, I'm too cool for school. I hate nerds. I shove bullies. Scratch that. I shove nerds. I am a bully. There it is. And, but I like the Felix Gray glasses. They're fucking amazing.
They're good.
Look, man, you get them once, you get free shipping. Shipped to your house, you only need to buy a pair and you're good to go. If you wear prescription, they'll do that for you for an extra $20. Big fan. What is it? Is it felixgray.com/drinking bros?
Let me look, because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing.
Or it might be Felix Gray glasses.
Shit. Hang on.
felixgrayglasses.com /drinking bros.
I'm sure.
I'm going with that. I'm going to go with that.
I'm sure that's what it is. We're very unprepared for life in general.
Nah. Today's been a wild day. That's why, man. We've been sitting on this trade deadline, trying to start the show so that it would coincide with the trade deadline for the NFL. Because we heard
we did
Le'Veon
wait a
Bell
little
might
bit
be on
longer.
the
I
moves.
mean, I like
on the moves.
I really want to see if Le'Veon Bell goes somewhere.
So do I. And I have him in like 3 leagues.
Yeah, so it's felixgrayglasses.com/drinkingbros.
Nailed it.
Free shipping and 30 days risk-free. So
nailed it.
From the time you
send
get
it back, if you fucking hate it.
Yeah, if it doesn't work for you, like if you have headaches like I do, if you've had your noodle banged around a little bit, jumped out of airplanes and cracked their skull on something from time to time, or just you're in an abusive relationship with a crazy lady like I am often and get hit in the head a lot with things, then
do it.
Calm it down.
Do it. Go buy these glasses.
It's ExpressVPN. So speaking of being in crazy relationships, if you're trying to hide shit from your girlfriend or wife, you don't want to see in your search history, or if you need to do your porn at work instead of at home, right?
Yeah.
You can use the VPN to do that. It's really important.
A lot of people are doing that, by the way. I've gotten so many messages on that.
We were doing it in Iraq, like in 2006 and 7 and 8. Like way back in the day, because you can't do anything on government computers.
I was new to this. Obviously, I'm non-military, but I was new to this until you told me, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then, it's hilarious, man. Go to expressvpn.com/drinkingbros. Not only can you watch porn, break all the firewalls, or whatever rules your boss has put up for you, but it'll protect all your shit, man. So people can't get into your accounts, take your passwords, hack all your shit. Cybersecurity is real. Protect your digital butthole. Go to expressvpn.com/drinkingbros today. $7 a month. And if you sign up for a year, you get 3 for free. Who else is offering that? Go to expressvpn.com/drinkingbros today. Let's get into the college football, shall we? D'Anthony. Yeah, right at the camera.
Fuck that camera.
Let them know your name.
I'm just butthurt about this week's college football, and it's really LSU that let me down. Even though,
look, it was bound to happen. This nuclear hot fire that I've been on. I will say this, college football wise, right? If you follow us on the sports page, you will see our actual live bets in real time. I went so fucking hard, and I have been on Ohio State. It was like after that victory, it was like, well, there's a fucking grand. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
But I bet on LSU. They did not cover. That was actually a really close game. And if that onside kick, it was laying there on the ground, man. It was a perfect rip from that guy's belly. He could have got that and really, really fucked shit up. That would have fucked up the entire college football forever.
I think it came down to more than that, though. Like
I did too.
LSU punting
after
11 plays and a 5.5 minute fucking drive in the first quarter. You can't do that shit. Like, you got to fucking execute, man. And I don't think Auburn's defense is that good. I just think LSU seemed off for some reason.
Auburn's got I think Auburn's got a pretty good defense.
It's good, but it shouldn't be good enough to do this.
Well, their offense isn't great. I think Burrow was off, and you're due for a bad game here and there. He only had 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
and that was the first time he hasn't thrown multiple touchdowns this year, which kind of leaves the Heisman race open. It's tough, man, because Fields for Ohio State was playing in a monsoon the first half.
Yeah.
And boy, all my buddies were at that game, and they were like, "Dude, it's miserable."
But there were a couple of other plays.
Stopped raining at halftime, and Ohio State ended up blowing the doors out of Wisconsin. But there was some other plays where in that LSU game,
4th and 1 at the Auburn 29.
Yep,
should have kicked the field goal. Right.
It's a 46-yarder.
So what?
I don't know that their kicker's that good.
4th and goal at the Auburn 2-yard line. Went for it. Didn't get it.
Yeah,
should have kicked the field goal. I mean, there's a bunch of fucking plays where they should have scored points and they didn't.
I don't mind those so much. There was a dropped punt by LSU that gave Auburn the ball in the 10.
Yeah,
and
that
they
was
scored. So
that's special team shit. Like I didn't think.
Yeah.
I thought Auburn was going to score. I think I said on the show 10 to 13 points in this game, which is why I made the pick that I made. Because like LSU's only got to score 23, which is what they scored.
Yeah.
But man, that fucking pissed me off. I was raging. I almost threw something at my TV, and then I remembered that we don't have a TV sponsor yet, and I can't just call somebody and tell them to send me a new one.
Hey, man, can you send me a new television?
Maybe we should build a rage room.
Like at the Flyers.
Yeah.
The Flyers.
Shit, if anybody needs a rage room, it's all Philadelphia sports.
Oh, no shit.
Like every fucking stadium and arena in Philly should have one of those. Actually, every house in Philly should have one of those. Those people are upset, and I don't blame them because it sucks in Philadelphia.
I have my mind on the last 2 times we were there. We're going to go back again for Army-Navy. So
December the 14th.
December the 14th. We will be there in Philadelphia.
We'll see if anybody puts Jello shots up their ass this year.
Well, I'm not saying no to it. I mean, not my own ass, but I'll watch it again.
Well, we'll see.
Alabama ended up covering against Arkansas with their backup quarterback. Look, Arkansas is the worst team on the planet, but I still thought they would cover 34 points, and they didn't.
Mac Jones. He only threw the ball 22 times, though.
Yeah. You know who that reminds me of? Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he also scored 50 points, which reminds you of who?
And they both play the same quality of talent here. Arkansas is the Carolina Panthers.
They're way worse than that.
By the way, sports fans out there is an early line that just came in for the Alabama LSU game. This has altered my mind. It is not on mybookie.com. I wish it was. I would put all of my money on it right now. The early line on Alabama LSU right now on 3 other sites is -8 for Alabama. In what world is that, Dan? I can't figure out what world that is.
I mean, it's in Alabama, right?
It is, but -8? I've got LSU winning the game outright on a money line. I don't even give a shit about the points. I can't believe they're getting 8 on top of it.
It's going to be an interesting game. One, we don't know if Tua is going to play or not. But 2, both teams, neither one of these teams are playing this week, right?
No, and by the way, a lot of people are asking, hey, are we going to go? We were. They moved the game to 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's crazy that numbers 1 and 2 are, well, I mean, it's 3:30 Eastern, but it's 2:30 local time.
2:30 local. So,
no fucking way
we would have to start our tailgate at super early for that bullshit.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Jesus Christ, man. Come on. That's the bit. Like, right now on paper, it's a 1 versus 2 matchup.
You know what the
biggest game of the year.
The night games are, let's see, these are the 7 and 7:30 games. Missouri, Georgia, App State and South Carolina, Clemson, NC State, Notre Dame and Duke, Iowa State and Oklahoma, Wyoming, Boise State, and Nevada and San Diego State. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'll tell you
None of those games are 1-2. I mean, what the fuck?
Just because it's a night game?
And then
we should do the Clemson game then. If it's at NC State at night, is that at least we can switch it and do a show from there.
Yeah, we could do that.
It's why not? It's right up the road.
November 9th. How far is NC State from here? Like 2 hours?
2 hours. I was just there. I took my kid to Stanley Cup finals there on campus. Or not finals, the Eastern Conference Division. Yeah, man, I 2:30. God damn it, man. I can't believe it.
You know what another game is that's on early, and we're skipping a week here, but that Penn State-Minnesota game, which is another fucking top 15 matchup.
2 undefeated teams.
Yeah. Is it noon? Like, what the fuck, man?
I don't know, man.
Iowa, Wisconsin, 2 top 20 teams are at fucking noon. Well, actually, that one's TBD right now. That one might be a night game, too.
I guess, but look, you have the best game on paper, Alabama LSU. And,
I mean, that's the best game of the year.
I know.
No matter what team you're a fan of, I don't give a shit. That is the best game of the year so far, and then the second best game of the year so far after that will be Penn State, Ohio State, just based on their performance so far and their rankings.
Correct. As long as Penn State holds up, because
they're
not play Minnesota.
They're not going to lose to Minnesota.
I don't think so either. But as far as the rest of the games go here for college football, Clemson ended up covering over BC. That was too many points. Oklahoma, Kansas. So Oklahoma's out in everybody's mind right now, simply because Texas lost as well. We talked about Texas last week. I actually bet on Texas. But we also said, look, if they were to lose this game, that means they've given up on the season.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened is they have given up on the season.
Not that TCU is not a hard out, but you've lost 3 games now. It's over, guy.
Not only is it over, but, again, if I'm Texas, I think I'm starting to reach out to Urban Meyer. Paul Feinbaum, who I hate more than anything in this world, said today that if Notre Dame was smart – this is what he said this morning when I was on the fucking treadmill. He goes, hey, man, if Notre Dame is smart, they'll buy out Kelly's contract and hire Urban Meyer because he wanted to coach there, 17 years ago or whatever it is.
Look, if anybody can overcome the recruiting issues that Notre Dame had, look, it's gray there because one, they have high academic standards and they don't flex for anybody.
Florida does too, though. Florida's a good school.
Yeah,
academically. Look, Ohio State's impossible to get into. It's fucking hard.
The other thing is that you can tell the kid they're going to be on national TV every week,
every Saturday. Urban Meyer's going to be on every single Saturday in everybody's living room for free. You don't have to buy an app.
Like he doesn't need help recruiting.
No.
Like he and Saban and fucking Dabo, they don't need help recruiting. They're done. They're all set.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that Saban is actually doing fucking car insurance commercials about his recruiting ability. Yep. It's gotten that meta at this point. But if you give him that kind of advantage, I would say within 2 years, Notre Dame is a fucking powerhouse. I would love to see it.
Well, I wouldn't, just because I hate Notre Dame.
I would love to see it because that's another loss that Michigan's going to get every year.
I would love to see, here's what I would love to see, Texas. I would love to see the Texas thing go down. You and I have been there.
I love Texas.
It's a blast.
I mean, I don't love the state of Texas. Right. I love Texas football.
Yeah, so do I. It's a blast to watch. He would be fucking over the ultimate arch nemesis in the offensive coordinator that shunned us and left, and Urban asked him to stay. We could have won 2 more championships, and that would be the ultimate fuck you. And to be honest, there is no better recruiter in the state of Texas who is, in my honest opinion, they're number one as far as football talent in the United States of America. The state of Texas, high school football-wise, pumps out the most talent. There's no better recruiter than outside of Texas than Urban Meyer. Imagine if he was in Texas and could recruit homegrown. Because that's what he did at Ohio. Ohio's they've got a wealth of talent as well, and he was able to keep it all in state. That's the problem with Texas football is they haven't been able to keep it there. Urban Meyer can keep it there, and he can fucking hook them. I would rather have that job than USC or Notre Dame.
Well, look, there's no Class A talent that's going to go to TCU or any of these other schools. Or they're not going to slip over to Alabama or LSU.
But they might slip up to Oklahoma occasionally.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it if he's there.
No. Oh, no,
is
not
what
at all.
I'm saying. Like, they're not going to lose any of those people.
Not at all. So if I'm Texas, I back up the truck, especially with the Cowboys rumors, the Notre Dame rumors, the USC rumors. If you're looking at this Longhorn team now, I think they've got talent there, too. And that's the thing. I think he can come in with a good recruiting class.
He's going to get $10 million a year.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be Notre Dame, USC, and Texas recruiting him.
Oh, boy.
Like, he's going to be able to set whatever standard he wants, which is a good thing because that's a thing that works in college football that doesn't work in the pros. Like the Bill Parcells experiment or the Packers coach, not Holmgren, the other one.
Yeah. McCarthy.
No, it was Holmgren. That wanted to be the GM and the coach and everything else. Yeah. That works in college.
Right.
Controlling everything doesn't really work in the pros that much. But he's one of the best at it, at controlling an entire program.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like to see it. The more power he gets wherever he goes, the more successful that program is going to be, I think.
Yeah. So Texas, back it up, man. Back up the truck. But Oklahoma is out at this point, and there's no way back in.
You're hoping for Texas because you don't want to see Notre Dame become a powerhouse and beat Ohio State every year.
We don't play them.
You're going to start playing them. Like, he's going to try and play them, right?
I don't know. Like, a lot of these games are set out, like, in advance. I saw that Michigan just signed on for, 2031 and, through 2033.
Really?
It's a long way out, and, Urban Meyer's not going to last 10 more years in coaching.
No.
He's probably, got a 5, if
Maybe.
that. So I'm not worried about that. I just it's too close to Ohio State at that point. Go to Texas. I think Texas would be a blast.
I think Texas or USC, I would be happy.
I just like it. I should just come out and say it. I fucking hate Notre Dame.
Yeah, everyone does.
I just I enjoy watching Texas football. I enjoy their fans. I enjoy going to Austin and partying.
I would
rather see that.
I would be happy with Texas or USC because whichever one it is, he'll dominate that conference. For a while.
Yeah.
Because nobody will be able to compete with the teams.
USC, though, it's man, Hollywood is bleeding right now and just it is on fire.
Are you quoting Post Malone on the show?
I am. It's just in hopes he's listening. Get him on, dude. Get him on. But they're on fire right now, so I don't know. Texas is where he should go. It's the last time I'm going to say that. We put a lot of money on that Penn State game. We've won a lot of money on Penn State this year. Mm-hmm. Penn State and Ohio State for us have been absolute fucking game changers. I mean, we've housed them every single week. Now Michigan, Oh, God. Where did Harbaugh pull this game out of his asshole at?
Who the fuck knows?
That was one of the worst games I've ever seen. It was 41-7 at one point. Notre Dame is Notre Dame, man.
They're terrible, dude.
Jeez.
They can't keep it together for more than a couple of weeks at a time.
Kalen Cothran. Is that the first time I'm saying it right?
Correct, yep.
Yeah. You know why?
Drinkin Bros history.
Because they're fucking done. They're fucking done. He was the guy who was like, oh, we're going to hang a flag up when they go to the playoffs. Not only they're not going to the playoffs, they might not even go to the Meineke Car Care Bowl this year, my man. But this is really good for Ohio State, actually. So I'm amped about this Michigan win, even though I lost money on it, simply because now Michigan will move up in the rankings.
Ohio State's 7-1 against the spread, by the way.
They are.
He's a tiny man, and he did that movie with turtles.
I know. Fucking the Tiny Turtles, man. They're 3-5. The 3 wins have been amazing. The 5 have been absolutely horrific. I don't know what happens before the game if they just say, "Hey guys, do you want to take acid or just play normal football?" And they're like, let's just take acid. Find out what happens.
Or they just all take tranquilizers. Like, let's see what happens. Like, you do that to horses sometimes. Give them tranks.
Those lemons, man. My buddy of mine used to take those horse tranquilizers in college.
Yeah.
App States. Man, housed them 33. Way to go, Appy States. Proud of you guys. The rest of these teams, we told you not to bet on. Oklahoma State, Iowa State. Who knows? That was exactly like we said, came down to one more touchdown, and that was it. Don't bet on the Trap 12. The ladies of Arizona State did not deserve that loss against UCLA. They're going to fall out of the top 25. And I miss you, and I love you.
You know who was talking about UCLA was, what's her name? Mia Khalifa. She went hard on. Do you ever listen to her picks? She's actually not bad at picking at college football games. She's like a college
football. She got pitched to be on the show.
Yeah, we'll probably have her on eventually. Whenever we're in Austin again, that's where she lives. She's actually really smart on college football, so it's interesting to hear her picks. But she's not very confident. She's like, "Oh, I was good on that one. I don't really want to pick the next game." We're like, "No, fuck that.
Yeah, we'll make her pick all
Go
the
balls
games.
out." Oh yeah, she's picking when she comes on our show. She's picking every goddamn game.
Because I think we're gonna do another show with Alex Jones. So maybe we should go and double.
Sometime mid-December, we're gonna do that show, or early December.
Yeah. Because the Army Navy game is late this year.
Yeah, it's 14th.
Really late.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
like I'll already be.
There'll be a bowl game the next day.
I'll already be making excuses for why I can't hang out with people over the holidays by then. By the way, if you want me to come to your holiday party, no.
Absolutely not.
In advance.
Dan doesn't play that. Let's get to the picks for this week in college football.
There's a bunch of shitty games.
The shakeup, by the way, is LSU's in at 1. Alabama's in at 2.
Yep, and then Ohio State, Clemson.
Ohio State, Clemson.
Penn State.
And Penn State at 5. I am completely fine with LSU number 1.
I'm fine with it too. I personally think Ohio State is a better team.
Everyone in the nation
Alabama
is saying
or
Ohio State is the most complete team in the nation.
Sure.
I agree, but LSU's played a harder schedule. Therefore, I personally I would like to see LSU at 1, Ohio State at 2, Clemson at 3, Bama.
You're just hating on Alabama. I think Alabama's ahead of Clemson right now because they've looked bad. Clemson has not looked great, and they might have the second weakest schedule in the fucking
next to Alabama.
Yeah, for any of these top 4 teams, they definitely do. Like Penn State's already beat 2 top 25 teams.
I know, on the road too.
Yeah, so what the fuck?
Yeah, I look. The telltale game will be this LSU game. There's nothing more we can say other than that because we have not seen Alabama play anybody all year.
LSU Alabama is going to be great, and then the next week, Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah,
we'll be at that game.
Yes, we'll be at that game. But if LSU beats Alabama, they are into the college football playoffs. There's nothing you can do to change my mind. The rest of their schedule is easy, and then they have the SEC championship. That will put them in a 1-loss team. Yeah. And LSU is in at that point. Now, whether or not it's going to be Alabama as a 1-loss or whoever wins on the other side, I don't know. But that game will change the landscape of college football, and it'll be exciting to watch. Just not
maybe it does and maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if that game changes anything. Like, it's going to elucidate how good Alabama is. We already know how good LSU is. It'll elucidate how good Alabama actually is, and provided they even keep the game close, if it's like a fucking touchdown or a field goal game in either direction, I think they still both play in the SEC championship, and then they both make the playoffs, I think. Unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, I think
because Georgia's not good enough this year.
LSU's on Alabama's side, so if they win this game, they'll
go to the championship. But I still think
Alabama will be a one-loss team sitting there.
It depends who would come out of the other division there.
Either Georgia or Florida.
Oof, God, that's gonna be bad.
Yeesh.
But that's
yeesh. And hey, Georgia-Florida plays this weekend.
Yeah,
it's the best game of the weekend. It's the largest cocktail party in the world, is what it is. It's a shame it's in Jacksonville.
I don't know. Notre Dame plays Virginia Tech this week, so. And Clemson plays Wofford.
Damn it. Way to go, Clemson. Way to schedule them, bro.
Well, that's a fucking conference game.
No, Wofford's not.
Wofford's ACC, yeah.
No, they are not.
Yes, sir.
They're fucking Division 9.
No, Wofford is ACC. They've been ACC for oh, no, they're Southern now. They used to be in the ACC. They're ACC for basketball.
Are they really?
I think so, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Or they used to be. Maybe they're not anymore. They've done a lot of restructuring over there. Yeah. Not that they brought any good teams in.
Wofford. All right, so we'll start with the Thursday night game. Was West Virginia against Baylor. This is Baylor minus 17.5. Look, quietly, Baylor is number 12 in the nation.
It's another Texas team.
No. Yeah, if Urban was there, none of these players are going to Baylor. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Look, minus 17.5.
I mean, they beat Iowa State when they were ranked.
They did.
And they beat Oklahoma State, which is not really saying. I mean, other than that, it's all like D2 schools.
No, man, it's tough. And for a Thursday night game, West Virginia's look shitty this year. So at 18, you got to win by 18 points at this point. That's a tough one for me, man.
I probably don't bet this.
I don't either.
You never know when a team like West Virginia is going to come out and play.
Yeah, I don't either. This is. Again, in these conferences where you don't, and especially in this one, when you don't play defense like this, right? And you can race up points. You can either house a spread, or you can lose, like Texas did last week, and in Oklahoma. Because when you don't have a defense and somebody's able to hang 48 on you, you don't know.
You're not going to beat somebody. You're not going to score 80.
No. So even going into that fourth quarter, when Texas was down by 21 points or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah. Was down by 21 points. I was like, hey, man, this still isn't over because there is no defense there. Yep. And they got the onside kick at the end, and it got overturned, or else they could have tied that game. But sorry. I don't. So I'm not going to. That's too many points.
That whole conference is like that.
Yeah. App State is up next. In Boone, North Carolina, 8 o'clock game. Kids are going to be going nuts. Craft beer, weed. Playing Georgia Southern.
Somebody might fall off the mountain up there.
Yeah, they will. Goddamn right they will. It's minus 15.5 for App State. You know my love for this small, tiny town, Boone, North Carolina.
Look, Georgia Southern put up 32 points on Minnesota this year. And Minnesota's got a really good defense, yeah. Shit. So they can have those breakout games where they score a lot. I don't bet this game. Because I don't think App State would have to score like 45 to make this legit bet, and I'm not in it.
I'm not in it either. I will say this: a Thursday night game in Boone, though, will be fun for those kids. And
it'll be fun as shit.
Blast.
Somebody
wouldn't bet on it.
Somebody will definitely fall off the mountain.
Michigan hiking up to 14. 14, Dan. After that win, they go all the way up to 14, giving those fans hope. That's what I love, too, about that victory of Michigan last week. It gives them hope, and it's just going to be ripped away against Ohio State.
The more time you spend around me,
I know,
the more you come to appreciate the misery of others.
Well, I appreciate the misery of Michigan and their fan base because it's the fucking worst. There's even a dude on Saturday after they won who was talking shit against Ohio State, saying, "Go Blue, it's our fucking year." No, it is not your fucking year, bro. And I cannot wait for the Ohio State game when we trounce you. Shit inside your pants. There's a website. Just Google this phrase. Last time Michigan beat Ohio State. There's a running website going that just all it is a picture of sad Michigan fans and the exact number of days that it's been since they've won. They were playing Maryland this weekend, and it is minus 21 for Michigan. It is at Maryland. This is like Russian roulette if you want to bet on this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know which Maryland team is going to show up.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet this. I'm tempted to go to this fucking Ohio State-Michigan game, though.
Oh, at Michigan?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's right after Thanksgiving is the problem.
It's November 30th.
Yeah, it's 2 days after Thanksgiving, which is the bitch of it. I've been up to that stadium and to that place as an Ohio State fan for a couple times. Mm-hmm. It's a weird stadium, man. It's one of those ones that like you get a seat number. Mm-hmm. There is no upper decks or lower decks. Mm-hmm. It's just seat 1, row 1 through like 178. So like you walk in and you're at like the 70s. You can go all the way down. You can go all the way up. They call it the big house. You're just squeezing people in there, but it's a fuck all of a stadium, man. I personally don't enjoy going there. Not because it's Michigan. Like there's some stadiums that I've been to of teams that I don't like that are nice. Mm-hmm. But that one's just not one of my faves.
I want to troll these folks.
Look, you go up there wearing an Ohio State because there'll be a bunch of Ohio State fans.
Oh yeah,
it'll be awesome. What do you think of this Michigan game?
Yeah, I'm not going to bet that. I mean, you don't know which Maryland team's going to show up, and you damn sure shouldn't have confidence in Michigan's ability to do anything.
No, you shouldn't.
I mean, come on, man.
And for that Michigan fan, by the way, it is 2,894 days since Michigan is.
You know how many
Ohio
fucking
State.
pairs of tidy whities that is?
Nothing makes me happier than that stat. And if we win again, it'll cross over 3,000 days this year, and that'll be the greatest monument in my life. Look, I think Michigan, I think they bounce back after this. I really do. All that shit talking aside, I think they bounce back after this and they make a decent run up until the Ohio State game and they get their pants pulled down. That being said, I would only bet on this if you're a fan of Michigan because there is no Maryland football fans. So
I know one guy
who's a Terrapins fan.
Yeah, he went there. That's the only reason.
Oh, good for him. It's basketball school.
He's total white trash and grew up in Maryland as well.
Right.
Joined the Marine Corps, was an embassy guard.
Yeah.
I think he's made some poor decisions. Now he's an attorney, though, so he's doing all right.
Gritty.
Paying off those $600,000 in student loans.
No, exactly. So, look, 21's yes, it's probably right on the money. It's a great bet for Vegas. I just wouldn't do this in real life. There's a lot of shitty games like this week. NC State's against Wake Forest. Wake Forest minus 7.5. Wake Forest is 6-1. They're sitting at 23. You and I always say the same thing about these teams that are fringe.
Yeah,
top 25. Don't do it, man. This 7.5 right here is just it's tempting you to say, hey man, just bet it. No one will know.
Yeah.
You don't think about it.
It's like a fat girl.
Yeah. When truthfully, this is probably a 7-point game. NC State might actually win this game. They play some people tough. So I would not do it, but if you're going to go in a 6-point teaser, I would. Sure. You want to take this down to a 1.5 in some form of 6-point teaser on mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros, double in your deposit to $1,000. Go ahead. I just don't like it. There's a lot of games this week that I just don't like. Notre Dame against Virginia Tech. Notre Dame minus 17. Whew. Ian Book had 76 yards passing this week. Quarterback for Notre Dame. Can they? They're at 16 now.
Hold on.
Do you remember earlier in the day after Oklahoma lost, there was 4 college football analysts that were like, this opens up the door for is a 1-loss Notre Dame team to get into the playoffs.
Is that right?
Yep. When one door opens, another one shuts in your face if you're a Notre Dame fan. And that door definitely slams shut, so you're all done with that for the year. Against Virginia Tech, look, they're 5-2. Which team shows up is your question. Does Notre Dame try to bounce back, or have they given up on the year after 2 losses? I don't know the answer to that. And I don't feel confident as a host telling you to go out and bet this game at 17 points.
You never know with Virginia Tech.
You don't. Now, this next one is the biggest game of the day, in my opinion. 3:30 game. I don't understand it. Put this on at night. Let people party.
Well, Oregon USC's on at night.
Fuck you.
And
wants to watch that
SMU,
shit?
Memphis, 2 American Conference teams. Although they're both top 25, so
they are. But this is number 6 versus number 8. This is Georgia at Florida. This is UGA at minus 6.5. Is that what you have?
There's 2 fucking American Conference matchups. Cincinnati, East Carolina play at 7 too. Like, why are those the night games?
I don't know.
Are they paying for that spot to try to boost their ratings or something?
No, they're not.
You got 6.5 on that?
6.5 on this Georgia spread here, and I'm going to bet this game.
Nope. 6.
6. That means everybody's betting Florida.
Yep.
Wow. I'm taking Georgia. Georgia has been the forgotten team this year, and I think you and I have seen Florida in person.
Yeah, they're not great.
They're not that impressive. They have a backup quarterback, and I think Georgia. This line is exactly where it should be because I think Georgia's going to win by a touchdown. This is technically at a neutral site, although it is in Florida. I think now's the time. If you're Georgia, you say, "Hey guys, Oklahoma is out.
Yeah,
we can win the SEC on this side if we beat Florida. We can go to the championship and we can sneak in to the playoffs. It's time to turn it the fuck up." And I think Georgia wins this week.
Let's make this the Fight Club game of the week.
Woo! Are you going with Florida?
Yeah.
No way. Why?
I just don't think. I think there's something psychological. Like on paper, Georgia should be winning these games, and they're not. So I think there's something fucked in their head over there. On paper, Florida should not be this good. Their starting quarterback is gone, and they're doing well. I think there's something psychologically going on with both of these teams, and I think Florida's going to win this game.
Wow. I am betting all of the monies on there.
I'm betting the money line on Florida to win.
Are you serious? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
All right. Look, I'm gonna the max bet, by the way, is $500 on college football.
Yeah,
on my bookie. Found out the hard way, just gassing it with Ohio State every week, and Penn State too. So everybody was like, "Yo, how are you maxed out on these things?" When we're posting the live bets on Drinkin Sports on Facebook, and I'm like, here's why. And I didn't know. Apparently, there is an end to the never-ending bowl of pasta, and it's prison. So. Yeah, you can only bet 500. I'm going to put 500 on Georgia on this. That's how confident I feel in Georgia bouncing back and trying to steal that last playoff spot.
I'll match your 500 on that.
Okay. Deal. Fight Club game of the week. Settled. Kansas State shock the world. Shock the world and beat Oklahoma.
But they shouldn't be ranked 22nd. Come on, man.
There's a guy who's a diehard Sooners fan. Quentin Berry is in our in Drinkin Bros Sports Facebook. He posts all the time, was just amped about life of,
I bet he is
man,
right now.
I'd like to see Jalen Hurts against Justin Fields. That would be the best matchup ever. So would I. And then Oklahoma is gone now, and then all their dreams are crushed by Kansas State. Here's what I love about this, right? They come off of this shocking victory in which they dominated Oklahoma the entire game. That game wasn't even close until the end of it in garbage time. And this week they're playing at Kansas, which is a rivalry, technically. Because these are two non-football schools that no one really gives a fuck about.
Yeah, but until like some of these guys learn to play football and not basketball, it's not really going to matter.
Tackle. Right? Yeah, they got to tackle each other. Now look, if this is a basketball matchup, fuck yeah, dude, I'm all in. Football, not so much. This is Kansas State minus 5.5. Kansas is 3-5. I think they can cover a touchdown. I think they're feeling good after last week. I'll take this bet.
Again, this is one of my rules. These teams that just got into the top 25, I'm not going to bet on them.
I will because it's Kansas.
Give them a week.
And if Kansas beats Kansas State, yikes! They might pull the entire Big 12 out of the rankings altogether.
Yeah, but you would have said the same thing about Oklahoma last week.
I would have.
If they lose to Kansas State, we should just cancel the Big 12 altogether.
Oh, yeah.
And then happen. So I'm not betting this.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to do it because there is not enough games on this college football schedule that I like. You look at the next game, it's Wofford against Clemson. There is no spread.
No, there's not going to be either. Actually, I'm looking at my bookie just says suck my dick. They're not putting the fucking spread up for this. Wofford players may not even make it out of the stadium alive. It's in Death Valley.
If you look at the Wofford logo, it's your dog. I'm not kidding either, by the way.
Oh, I know, dude. It's your fucking Boston Terrier.
It's your dog.
Yeah.
It's the exact dog you have.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's the logo. What are we doing, Clemson? It's week, 9? And this is what you're doing with Wofford?
Yeah, I don't understand this. They used to be at least AC. They play them every year, like every single year.
I don't know. Look, Wofford gets a ton of money for it. They usually, walk out of there with $1 million, and that's fine. But, man, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, I guess.
Let's see what the score was last year.
Utah. Damn it, man. We've been hit up by a bunch of Drinkin Bros. We actually have a bunch of listeners in Utah.
Yeah.
Black Rifle Coffee's got an office there, obviously.
Yeah, one of my friends was at the game last week. They don't serve booze at any college stadium, really, but especially in Utah.
Yeah, no shit. By the way, Drinkin Bros 20 at blackriflecoffee.com. Utah is number 9 in the nation. Washington is unranked at 5-3, and the spread on this is only 3.5 points.
Trap 12.
Trap 12. This is at Washington. I don't know what the deal is with Washington. Same thing, man. They show up and they can either look great or they can look like trash. I have no idea who's going to win this game. And I don't, there's, besides the people in Drinkin Bros Sports, I don't know anybody else who cares about this either. No one's talking about Utah on the national stage. Mm-hmm. No one. So, good luck on this. You would say, just looking at it, number 9, 7-1. Bet on them. They're great this year. No, man. Washington could sneak up on you and smoke your fucking cigars, dude. When your dad's out of town. So I don't know. I hate most of these matchups in the NCAA this week. Sorry, my bookie. Ole Miss at Auburn. Auburn minus 18.5. Higher.
19.5.
Whoa, everybody's taking this. Ole Miss has looked shitty.
Yeah, you know what they should do they should get fucking squishy face Eli back there.
I know.
He could probably play in college right now. Not in the NFL. He sucks in the NFL.
I watched this Theo Vaughn interview the other day where he said he ran into Eli Manning at a college party, and he was wearing a cowboy hat. And he goes, and it just fucking pissed me off, dude. Who's wearing a cowboy hat in college? To a goddamn party. I get it, Theo. And you can hear it in Theo Vaughn's voice, too. Man, you ever been to, like, a college party and Eli Manning's there? And fucking...
No.
And you're like, no
one's ever done
and he's
that.
wearing a cowboy hat, and you're like, man, bodies are being slapped in the other room. It's a weird one, but I think Auburn probably wins by 3 scores. This is a game that I take down. I'll take this in a 6-point teaser. I'll take that 19 down to 13. And then at least if they win by 2, I'm fine because I'm going to do a bunch of parlays. Since this is a shitty week to bet on.
Why would he be wearing a cowboy hat?
I don't know.
He was born where his dad played in New Orleans.
Yeah, boy hat. So I tease this game down. I'm going to parlay this. I'll tease this down, and I'm going to take Auburn on this one. You staying away from this?
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this week in college football.
Weird, right? It was a weird week. Next up, Cincinnati at Eastern Carolina. This is Cincinnati minus 24. Look, they're up to 17, man. Ohio State smoked their doors off. That is the only loss they've had all year. East Carolina, by the way, here's the only thing I will say about the Pirates and the Pirates fans, because there's a lot here. They rage.
Oh, yeah.
And they love their football team, but they get crushed repeatedly over and over and over again. And just for the sake of that, I'm going to take this in another parlay and take this down 6 to 18 and bet against them.
Cincinnati's look good this year, too.
This is a 7 o'clock game. There's going to be there's a lot of Eastern Carolina fans.
I would say,
in Wilmington, too.
I bet there will be a lot of empty seats in the stadium because people are going to get so fucked up that they're not even going to make it to the game.
They'll go. They'll make it.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever gotten so fucked up you didn't make it to the game? Because I've done that.
Once. But I will say there was an element of rain, too, where I was just like, I'm not going to go sit in it. And it was you know what it was? It was Eddie George broke the all-time single game rushing yard mark, too. It was a bad game to miss for me. Illinois. But yeah, I'm going to take this in a teaser just to do it, just because I like the suffering of the East Carolina fans, because I think it's hilarious. Because they always lose and it's always bad, and they're always so passionate. They deserve a good team. They haven't had one since, I think, fucking David Garrard was their quarterback, maybe.
Oof.
Long time, my man. Next up, SMU against Memphis. Look, we talked about SMU last week. They won on Thursday. They did not cover, however, and they are 8-0. This is surprising. This is at Memphis, who's 24, and they're 7-1.
Yep.
And this is Memphis minus 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Memphis has got a football team.
Yeah, and they've apparently are pretty good.
They're 24. That is something else, isn't it?
It's weird, but I called this last year with Cincinnati and Houston making it in to the top 25 in addition to Central Florida.
Sure.
People are starting to take this conference seriously. I think it's good for football. They haven't beat anybody this year.
No.
I mean, they beat Ole Miss. They beat Navy. Ugh, God. They lost to Temple. So I don't know why they're 24th.
I don't either.
Maybe it's just a lack of teams or...
I'm going to take SMU with the points, man, and go with that. Again, it's the old Texas quarterback, Bobby Boucher.
Boucher? Buchel?
Shane. It's Shane Buchler.
I think it's Buechele. Remember Steve Buechele from... he played... for the Cubs, right, back in the day?
I believe he did.
Steve Buechele?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Do you touch a game like this, in all honesty?
No.
You know what I do? I take this in another parlay. It's going to be a big parlay day for me. I'll take this up to 12 for SMU, and probably do that with a 6-point teaser spread. Trying to make this interesting because I'm not. Other than that Georgia-Florida game, I'm not amped about this slate. Most of the big teams are off this week. Ohio State's off. Alabama's off. LSU's off. This night game is Oregon, who is snuck up quietly to number 7.
Yeah, that's what you do in the Pac-12 is sneak up quietly.
Oh, boy.
You sneak up quietly, and then everybody's like, oh, man, you got to watch out for them, and then you just get fucking crushed.
Gross. So this is why we call it the Trap 12. Oregon is number 7. USC is not ranked.
Yeah.
Oregon is only favored by 5.5 points in this game. How is that possible for a number 7 team in the country?
I don't know, because Clemson played a ranked team a couple weeks ago and had it was 17-point spread.
Yeah.
LSU played, and it was about the same.
LSU was 11 against Auburn. This is an unranked team, and you're at 5.5, and you're the number 7 team in the country? Fuck you, dude. Again, man, we don't bet this shit, but we don't bet the Trap 12. I mean,
definitely not Oregon.
Not Oregon. Not Oregon, man. And again, I apologize for this because look, we usually give picks every week. It's a bad weekend for college football, man. All of my money is going on that Georgia game. That is it. The rest of this, I will do it, and I'll make a bunch of fun parlays, and we'll post that on the Facebook group. But other than that, no. I don't touch any. I wouldn't tell you to bet your real American dollars on this. NFL, I will, but not college this week. Next up, you got Boise State against San Jose State. Obviously, always bet on Boise. This is at San Jose State. Boise minus 17. I throw 100 on Boise every week just because I do it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of friends who played there. I get it.
Yeah. So that's it. I always bet on Boise. That's my rule. It's only $100.
Good news for this week is that Tennessee's quarterback is going to be back.
Is that good news?
Against the University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Tennessee, though, man, they ran up South Carolina last week.
I know, dude. So fucking
weird
stupid.
year, man. So that's college football. Again, mybookie.com, promo code DrinkinBros doubles your deposit all the way to $1,000. I'm going to parlay a bunch of these on a 6-point teaser. That means you can take the overs and unders down, up or down 6 points, and the actual spreads up or down 6 points. NFL, Thursday night, 49ers at Cardinals. 49ers minus 10 in this game with an over-under, and this is really interesting, of 43 points. That seems very low for a 10-point spread. Kyler Murray, to me, has been chucking up shit, and I know the 49ers defenses look good. You know what I do on this? I did this on the Monday night game, man. I use that 6-point teaser to my advantage. I will take this up to minus 16, minus 16 for San Francisco. Take this over-under down to 37. And just to have fun with it. It's not that bad of a game on paper either, man. Fucking the Cardinals are 3-4-1. They've got a shot.
Is Kyler Murray even going to play in this game?
He will play.
How benched is he?
I think he was benched because they were up by 40. The Saints were smoking that dick.
Well, now they've got a new running back in town too, right? So we'll see how that plays.
Drake, yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
He's okay. But look, Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk had a good game for the Cardinals. Fitzgerald barely, had one toe out of bounds on a touchdown pass. I watched this game because I'll be entertained by it. And what was that guy's name? Terry Burke. I know Terry Burke's going to be watching it. I watch it, and then I root for the Cardinals on this. I do. And I do a 6-point teaser with this. So I'm going to tease this up to minus 16 for San Francisco and tease this under down to 37. And I will take the Cardinals with minus 16 points. Tough one for you, Dan.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Tough one for you.
I'm good. I'm just going to bet the 49ers straight on this 10-point. I think that's good.
Look, you've been right on the 49ers all year round.
I don't.
This has been your team this year.
The Cardinals are in a tough spot because they need to win to stay and even with a sniff of contention right now. But they also have a new running back coming in that's probably going to start because the other guys are fucked up, and it takes time to learn a new offense. And Kenyon Drake is not a great lateral mover, although he is good at catching balls in the flat. But both of those things are timing issues. I don't know if you can just come in and impact the game immediately like that.
Right.
We'll see what happens, but I think the 49ers smoke these guys.
Yeah, man.
Although Thursday night games are typically shit shows. Like last week with Minnesota, they scored 19 points against the fucking Redskins at home. So you never know what the fuck's going to happen there.
That Monday night game last week was
garbage. Like Minnesota should have scored 40 points against the Redskins easy.
Yeah.
At home, but they suck. So.
Did Le'Veon Bell go? By the way, it is past 4:00. He did not go.
Nope. They didn't do anything actually.
Nor Jamal Adams. No one. All right. All right. Well, this is why we did it this late. Texans against the Jaguars. Is there anybody having more fun playing the game of football than Minshew?
I mean, he'd probably be having more fun if he was winning.
Well, he's winning. They won last week.
They're 4-4, dude.
4-4. Hey, look, man, with that team and the Jalen Ramsey drama, and you lost Big Dick Nick Foles, you got a kid who was the 7th round pick in there with a mustache who works out in a jockstrap in the locker room, and he's having a blast, winging the ball around. He's one of the funnest players to watch, man, and I root for him. This Texans team, again, I know I've said it week in and week out, they've got so much talent that is just wasted with injuries, and that offensive line sucks for the Texans. This is in London. This is Houston -2.
I probably will take the under in this game because it's a London game.
46.5.
And because the Jaguars defense has been so good this year.
They've been really good.
And the Jaguars offense has not exactly been lighting it up.
This game is at 9:30 a.m. This is going to be a blast to watch. This is not going to be a game to bet, however. So I don't know. I enjoy watching both of these quarterbacks play, and it'll be a fun one to watch. But I don't know who you bet on this one, because are the Texans too defeated with all of their injuries and J.J. Watt going down this week? I'm not sure. But the next one I'm definitely betting. Redskins at the Bills. This is Buffalo -9.5.
Oof.
Taking Buffalo, homeboy.
Hang on a second.
This is at Buffalo.
Let's see if that spread's still standing.
The over-under is what you should really check in this game.
It's 37.
37 points.
Oh, boy. I mean, I might score more points than that this
The
weekend.
Saints scored more points than that last week. So I bet I take the Bills in this one, man. The Redskins are 1-7. It's all over now for them.
Yeah, but you only have to lose by 1. Like, you don't have to. If they're trying to tank this season, it's not like they have to fucking get blown out.
Yeah, they're still not starting Haskins. They're not doing shit up there, man. I think they want the number 1 pick, and that's it, man. They're all done.
Well, it's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
What's the weather going to be? Doesn't say.
Probably 8 degrees.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet this. I mean, I'm sure Buffalo's going to whip their ass, but
we should call the name of the show. I'm not going to bet this.
Yeah.
Today's show. I am. I'll take Buffalo in this, man. Josh Allen, look, this will put them up to 6-2. There's no way they don't make the playoffs, right? All you have to do is win 3 more games after that.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
and they play the Dolphins again.
Yeah, they play the Jets and Dolphins again, don't they?
Buffalo is going to the playoffs, brother. I'm crashing through a table.
Good for them.
Mama's on the porch, and I'm crashing through a table. That's the way I feel about this Buffalo game. I'm amped about it. I'm taking it. I don't give a fuck. The next one, there is no line on this Vikings-Chiefs game. The reason why is they don't know if Mahomes is going to play yet. So I would definitely watch for that. If Mahomes plays, it's probably be what would you say? They're 5.5, 6-point spread.
Yeah, probably.
Boy, the Bengals have now joined the field of will they go 0-16 in Vegas, by the way.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for that fan base.
Hell yeah. But the Chiefs, yeah, man, if Mahomes comes back, that'll be a great game against the Vikings. Vikings are 6-2, man. Chiefs are 5-3. They need it. They need him back. I saw him practicing today.
They've sucked at home, and that's never the case.
I know.
For the Chiefs. They're always really good at home. You gotta expect they're going to turn it around. If this comes in under 7, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Both times they've sucked at home, though, is Mahomes was hurt. Yeah. So we'll see. But, yeah, I'll take the Chiefs in this one if Mahomes comes back. If not, no. Next up, we got Jets at the Dolphins.
Man, this is the worst.
Why does this game
of
have
the
to
year.
be played? Now that Le'Veon Bell is definitely playing in this game.
I'm surprised it hasn't jumped. Maybe it has. Let me check.
He's going to be pissed off. This is -3 for the Jets.
Still -3.
Yeah, I'm taking this. I'm taking the Jets in this one. And I think Darnold is able to cover.
I fucking hope so. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
It's the goddamn Dolphins. Although they did just pick up a key defensive player who's probably going to murder himself before the fucking game starts on Sunday.
Yeah. He's out, though. He's hurt. So,
is he out for the year? Because that would be optimal for him.
I think he will make himself out for the year.
Yeah. Like, why come back and
I think he'll make himself out for the year. I'm Jets all day in this one, and nothing cures what ails you more than the Dolphins this year.
Yeah, no shit.
So I'm all
maybe
in
the
this
Bengals.
One. Yeah, maybe the Bengals. Now Andy Dalton is not starting. That is breaking news. Dalton is finally not starting. You know when they should have done that? 12 years ago.
Yeah, whenever the fuck he first came into the league.
12 years ago, they should have done that move. Next up, we got Bears at the Eagles. They're a bigger disappointment than the Bears this year.
The Eagles.
Probably not. Eagles have been hurt though, so it's been a rough run for them. The only person that's been hurt on the Bears is their pride and Trubisky.
Trubisky sucks, man. He should not be in the league.
I'm with you now.
He's a backup quarterback.
I was waffling and waffording around with this one, and now I'm with you. I'm with you. No, he should not be playing American football anymore. Maybe Canada. Go
Arena, maybe, yeah.
Him and Mayfield can go up there together and set the world on fire. This is Philly -4.5. Fantasy-wise, by the way, I've been picking up this guy Goddard, a backup tight end who's behind Zach Ertz. I don't know if Zach Ertz is hurt or what the deal is, man, but the last 2 games has been his lowest performing outings, and Goddard's been getting the majority of the touches. I like that they're giving the ball to Howard more. I think Howard goes off against his old team because he's pissed off that he's still not there. And let's face it, if you had Howard and Cohen, and I don't know why they split these guys up, and I know I say this every other week, Bears could probably overcome the shittiness of Trubisky. Problem is they don't have a run game there. I don't have anybody there, but except for a great defense. So I'm going to take the Eagles in this one at home, and I think they make a late push towards the playoffs. That's a bold statement, but I'm going to make it. Because in the NFC, I think you can get a wild card at 9-7, and I think the Eagles can do it. I think they can make that push. So I'm gonna take the Eagles in this one, -4.5 at home.
So his last 2 games against teams with good defense, Carson Wentz has 2 TDs, a pick, and he's thrown for 172 and 191, respectively.
Right.
He's not going to do well against the Bears. Although the Bears suck.
Yes, and their defense has not looked as great as it was, partially because they're on the field.
Yeah.
800 minutes a game.
Man. I don't know. I'm not going to bet this game.
I'm taking the Eagles.
It's fucking 2 of the fucking most disappointing teams of the season here.
Well, this next one then should really tickle your fancy.
I'm taking this game.
Feather under that ball sack. Why? Can you explain to me why the spread is like this? This is Colts at Steelers. There's another Colts guy who's just dragging my nuts through a plate glass window smash on the floor about how great the fucking Colts are this year. And then they go out and put on a 15-13 performance last week in one of the worst games that has ever been televised in human history. That's another guy. I don't have his name, but if you want to come at me with the Colts and Brissett and they're going to win the Super Bowl, hey, you're up, brother. I'll put a fucking $1,000 of my own money against you, and we can put it with the admins on Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Feel free on that. But this is Colts -1 at the Steelers, who looked like shit last night against the Dolphins.
Yeah, James Conner's out probably.
No, that's a definite.
Snell's probably
his
out.
arm was in a sling.
He's getting looked at, and he's getting MRIs and shit, but we'll see. I doubt he'll be back because they're not going to want to risk him for next year. Snell is probably, I think, out now as well, or he's at least questionable. I think the Steelers lose by more than 1 point here.
I do too. And the Colts have a decent defense.
Yeah, the Colts have a good defense.
What's the fucking story with this game?
I don't know. I mean, look, they're up and down, and it's mostly Jacoby Brissett. Like he's unlike some of these other guys. He's not terribly inconsistent, but he hasn't had that big breakout game, except for Houston. He fucking torched Houston.
Right.
But aside from that, like, it's been pretty run-of-the-mill. Like, he bounces back from, like, 260, 150, 200. He hits 300, like, maybe every third game.
Sure.
And he did it 2 games ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably going to – like, Pittsburgh's got a tough defense. They rush the passer really well, especially with Devin Bush, basically playing a spy in that fucking 3-4.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting a lot of plays made. Brissett's not throwing a lot of picks, though.
Hasn't. He's been consistent.
I don't know.
Shockingly,
it's weird. I mean, I'm just trying to reason out why they would do this.
I don't understand it. What I do know now is I'm betting it as soon as the show ends.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts for sure.
You're doing it right now, actually. That's one. It's 1 point. It's a pick'em game against the Steelers. I do not understand this, especially with all the injuries that the Steelers have.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph looked. There was part of that game last night where I questioned if he was on the spectrum of either mentally
like
or
autism?
Physically retarded. There was if you watch him warming up, he was doing this hand exercise on the sidelines. Google Mason Rudolph warming up last night in the game. It was like he was in his own wind tunnel. I don't know what was happening there. And then with the haircut and everything else that was going on, and I'm going to be honest, he threw some bad picks early on.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, he actually might be retarded after that hit.
Yeah.
That was the worst hit I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
It was up there with that. So I don't know, but I bet all my money on this Indianapolis game, and whoever that guy is, well, this week I'm on your side, so I'm taking the Colts in this one. And if you lose this one, don't tell me about the fucking Colts ever again. You should get 2 horseshoes drilled into your feet and have to walk around barefoot through the rest of life with 2 fucking horseshoes for the Colts. And you've got to walk around like a goddamn centaur the rest of your life.
That wouldn't be that bad, though, to be honest.
Maybe. But that's if they lose. Next up, we got the Titans. I'm salty today. Titans at the Panthers.
How are these 2 teams both 4-4 and 4-3 respectively?
I don't know.
Like, these teams fucking suck.
I don't know. And you've got, 38-year-old Tannehill?
Ryan Tannehill.
Is the quarterback of the Titans. And look, I have Derrick Henry on 2 of my fantasy teams.
It's like week in and week out with that bitch.
It's either great or just shit. Yeah. And it has been shit lately. Panthers got annihilated last week. Annihilated at the 49ers. And
I called that one, by the way.
You've been on fire with the 49ers all year. I will give you that. You were the 49ers whisperer. This is at Carolina, -3.5. Look, McCaffrey still looked like McCaffrey last game. I think, they're at home. I think they turn this around. I don't won against the Raiders, 3-4. This is Oakland -2 with an over-under of 50.5. Mm-hmm. That means there's going to be sex in this game. Raw, unadulterated sex.
Taking the Raiders in this game.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'll take the Lions in this game.
I think the Raiders are actually better than their record suggests.
I love the heart they've shown, man, and I think this is a very, very positive step for them going to Vegas. And they got the fucking bad juju out of that locker room. I'm with you, man. Darren Waller's a superstar. Mm-hmm. I like watching that kid play. Derek Carr's been pretty goddamn good this year.
And the Lions are like the most, and they're the Lions.
Yeah.
Like, historically, Matthew Stafford's got to be one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in NFL history.
I know, but he's got great receivers. He's got Amendola, who lit it up last week. He's got Marvin Jones Jr.
Galladay.
He's got Kenny Galladay. I've got Galladay on 2 of my teams. Hawkinson at tight end, who shows up, once every 6 games for some fantasy points. But it's an exciting offense. Matthew Stafford's looking good. I started him last week. He fucking crushed for me. I'm going to take the Lions. Next up, we got Buccaneers at the Seahawks. Man, I got another picture this week, Dan. Russell Wilson doing gay shit, just like Russell Wilson does.
Yeah.
And my reminder to them was, hey, this was against the Falcons.
Yeah.
They were up
that game 28
to fucking 7 at halftime, and they still did not cover the spread. The Seahawks.
I thought they were gonna score 50+
I did too. They didn't score the second half at all. Did not score 1 point in the second half. They did not cover the spread. The Seahawks do not cover the spread. I don't know, man. It's the Buccaneers. Winston's going to be chucking it around. It's -6 for Seattle in this
The Bucs
one.
have given up too, though. Although, I mean, he's playing for his NFL career at this point. But
O.J. Howard was on the trading block, did not go apparently. How does that affect the psyche of them? What's the weather like in Seattle too?
Yeah, it'll be rainy. But to be fair, he's been on
drugs.
No.
Crab Legs
has been like on the verge of losing his job for 3 weeks now, and he's lost all 3 weeks. So at what point do they just like, why even start him against the Seahawks?
Boy.
Why bother?
I'm going to go ahead and put the gun in my mouth here and take the Seahawks.
That's twice this year that you've bet on the Seahawks.
Yes, usually I bet against them, and it goes great. Man, I hate this team so much.
Blaine Gabbert's out for the year.
Damn it.
And
I wanted to pick him up.
Their other guy
to drop him again.
Yeah, their other guy is Ryan Griffin, who's I don't know who he is.
No.
Stats. I clicked his stats page. No information available. Is what it says. So maybe that's why Crab Legs is still playing.
You know the beauty of that you named that to me, that just warms my heart, is it means that Kaepernick is still not playing in the league.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. This next one up, dude. Browns, Broncos. Homeboy is out. Flacco is out. He's got some neck thing. He might not play again.
What is it with fucking the Broncos signing guys who have neck things?
I don't know, man. Either way, the Browns -3.5 in this one. The over-under is 39. This is going to be a disgusting, gritty game. Mayfield against a decent defense. Look, the only thing the Broncos can do, because they traded Emmanuel Sanders. Now Flacco is out. You've got Phillip Lindsay and Royce the Ruler Freeman back there. That's all you can do is hand off the ball to those guys the entire game. What do you do against that in a shitty Browns team? Unfortunately I'm gonna take the shitty Browns here. I'm gonna buy a point and take this down to 2.5.
I'm gonna take the Broncos at 3.5.
Are you really?
I think the Browns fucking suck. I think they have no. I think they have no heart at all.
Whew,
like the only guy on that team that has any heart is Baker Mayfield, and he doesn't have any fucking talent.
My oh my, that is dark days, Browns fans.
Yep.
Dan is taking a Flacco-less Broncos team, a team with no wide receivers and just 2 running backs.
They have Cortland Sutton.
Oh shit. Yes.
God
damn it.
He's one of the better wide receivers.
He's been great for me this year. Yeah. Right, dude. He's been in my flex in 2 leagues all year long, and he has been fucking great. Who is throwing him the football? Who's their backup quarterback?
I don't fucking know. I don't even care. That's how little I believe in the Browns.
Well, this was breaking news. We just walked into the office, and they said he was out, and I was like, who's the backup quarterback there?
I was going to go with him. Like, look, I think that I think these guys are fucking losers.
The Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, and it's not about any individual person. And that collection of people, they're losers as a group, and they're going to fucking lose, I think. That's just how it is. You see teams that are like that.
I love it.
Teams that are like that, right?
Yes.
Like, man, these guys should be winning games, and they're not. They're fucking losers. Not individually. Like, other than Mayfield, most of these guys could win in pretty much any other situation.
Yeah. I mean, they got great talent on this team.
Their offensive line is terrible. I'll give them that. And they also didn't make any moves on their offensive line at the trade deadline, by the way. That's the only thing that could have gotten them back into this race.
Why, if you don't know if Mayfield's going to be your quarterback? I understand that, at least. And then Freddie Kitchens, they said, will be fired at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, dude. You can't have this amount of talent and lose and keep your fucking job.
Browns fans, I'm going with you. I'm going to buy a point and take this down to 2.5 and take this game.
I feel bad for you, but sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Next up, we got Green Bay Packers at the Chargers. This is Green Bay -3.5. Is it because of the smoke over the stadium? The interesting point I'm going to bring up here, and we always have our friend
4.
Yeah, as everybody's betting the Packers. I'm taking the Packers in this one as well. One thing to watch out for is this. Benny the Ticket Guru, who's a friend of the show and a friend in real life, he always says, look at the ticket prices in these, and you can kind of see like who's going to this game. Knowing the Chargers have no fans, right? Mm-hmm. The lowest ticket you can get for this game is $332 in LA. I can tell you the reason behind this. There is 1 million Packers fans who will be going to this game. This will be a home game for Green Bay. I'm taking Green Bay. The only thing you're going to have to worry about, and this is a serious thing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is the smoke.
Yeah.
The fires are like going down the 405 is where you go to Carson here.
Yeah.
I don't know what the air quality is going to be like for this game, but it could be pretty nasty.
It could be, yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm definitely taking the Packers. You?
Yeah, same.
Chargers fired their offensive coordinator last night.
I think part of that is also because Aaron Rodgers is definitely gay, and there's a lot of gay people in LA that want to see him play football.
A lot of people say that, man.
I wish he would just be gay. Just be gay, dude. Like, you can be gay. It's fine. It's 2019.
Here's the thing.
Like
all right. Here's my one defense against Aaron Rodgers not being gay.
He went from Olivia Munn to Danica Patrick, who is basically a linebacker.
I worked with Olivia Munn, and so I know her in real life. She is like the rad version of what Chrissy Teigen probably should be. Of like, she's actually really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I don't see her putting up with a fucking gay dude. I just don't see it. Like I can't. Now Danica Patrick, that makes sense. You know? It seems like two beards covering up each other's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but why at this point? Like you'd do better with sponsors at this point if you were fucking gay, right?
She's out. She's retired.
I know, but like she still does sponsorships.
Yeah, she still does commercials, but I think the Aaron Rodgers thing is a great surface thing, but it's weird. Who knows? And there's no relationship with his brother. You know that either. And he doesn't talk to his family.
Probably because they all know that he's
maybe
gay.
Maybe that's the whole thing. Either way, he's playing hell of football this year, and I would take a gay quarterback in 10 seconds on the Falcons if we could win. If we could be 7-1 like the Packers.
Yeah.
Look, I've bitched about the Packers this year. I said, look, you need a running game. You need to let somebody start coaching you. That is the week that I said that and went on that rant. That is exactly what they've done. And not only has Aaron Jones been on fire, that Williams kid has been on fire.
Yeah.
Like, they're a fun fucking team to watch now, and it's weird, man. I don't know if all of them not playing preseason had anything to do with it. Now they're just catching back up, but
maybe
it's a fun team to watch. And this is the team that probably challenges the Saints for the Super Bowl.
It's the only team I think that can challenge them. Yeah, at this point.
So yeah, the Packers win this game, and it's going to be a home game in LA. If you're able to watch it, watch that crowd. It's going to be all green there. Next up, we got the Patriots at the Ravens. That is the Sunday night game, and that's a blast.
Yep.
That's a great game. This is a very small spread. This is the smallest spread I've seen in New England all year.
Yeah, I'm taking this.
-3.5. You're taking the Patriots.
Yeah, dude. Look, get fucked.
Yeah.
Ravens, come on, man. That whole Lamar, whatever the fuck bullshit, is not going to play against these guys. They have the best defense in the NFL by a wide margin. It's not even close.
I agree. Ravens have had a week off. They're back, but I'm taking New England in this one. This will be a test, though, for the Patriots. This will probably be the only hard game they play this year, right? And so they play the Chiefs later on in the season, maybe?
Yeah, they play the Chiefs, but it's at home. And the rest of the games, Dolphins, Bills, Bengals, Texans again in Houston. That'll be tough. But
yeah. It's a test for sure, but I'm taking New England. And I think with Sanu having an extra week practicing with these guys in that offense, look for him fantasy-wise to torch it. I'd start him in a flex if you have him. But this will be a great game to watch on Sunday night. I'm super amped about that, actually. Last game of the week, Cowboys at the Giants. Whew. Dallas -7. That is not as big of a spread as I thought it would be. I will buy a half a point, and I will take the Cowboys in this one.
I'm not going to bet. I've been bad at guessing Cowboys games this year, so I'm not going to take this.
Cowboys have been bad at guessing Cowboys games this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they beat the Eagles, but the Eagles are basically ambulatory at this point. Lost to the Jets.
The Cowboys have looked good. They've looked good against really shitty teams, so they'll probably look good against the Giants because they're really, really shitty. So I think, look, man, this will put the Cowboys at 5-3. I think this is a big. This is a must-win for them. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a must-win for them this week, and I think they win this game. I'm going to tease this down a half a point just in case they only win by a touchdown, but I'm definitely taking the Cowboys. And fantasy-wise, I'll probably be starting the Cowboys defense as well. But Danny Dimes, man, slanging that rock around.
Not really.
Yeah, he looked all right last week.
I mean, all right. Cowboys got a good defense. We'll see what happens.
They do. So yeah, I'm gonna go Cowboys in this. Are you not touching it?
No.
Good for you.
In the World Series tonight, I'm taking the Astros. They're gonna win.
To win it with Verlander on the mound.
They're gonna win in 6 games, like I said they were.
Did you say 6 games?
Yeah.
You
said 5. Yeah.
I said 5.
But they should have won in 5. To be honest, they should have won in 5 games. But I patted myself with a hiccup in there.
It is. Look at this, man. Look, you're down 2-0 to come back and win. If they win tonight and go reel off 4 in a row, man. And that pitching staff, dominant team, man.
Everybody should be nice and rested right now.
Mm-hmm. Verlander, dude.
Which
if
gives
you're Verlander, if I'm Kate Upton, scratch that. If I'm Kate Upton,
yep.
and I'm looking at my husband, Justin Verlander, in the eyes, and I said, hey, you can have this pussy tonight.
Yep.
And maybe 2 other girls if you win this game and become a World Series champion. You're the winning pitcher of the World Series tonight. If I'm Justin Verlander, I get everything I got tonight. Every single thing I got. You know?
Well, he's going to do that anyways.
No, he's not.
He's a professional baseball player.
He's looked like shit the last 3 games in the playoffs.
The last 1 game.
3 games in the playoffs, he's looked like shit. What's his fucking ERA in this playoffs?
4.15.
Poof. That's fucking 5 points below 420 because it looks like he's been smoking weed this whole goddamn time. I've got the Astros winning this one as well, and they deserve it. This has been the best team this year in baseball, and they made the best trade at the deadline. They played this entire season correctly, and Altuve, man, the Bulls on that guy. Bregman finally has turned it around, hit that fucking ding-dong grand slam. The best team in baseball, they deserve to win the World Series this year. So I'm fine with that, and I hope it happens. For the city of Houston, Astros fans they ball out, man. That's a fun stadium. Well, it's a really fun stadium.
They've this will be their second win in 4 years.
Yeah,
3 years.
Now, in last but not least, last bet of the weekend here, UFC. We were contemplating going to this fight.
You're talking about Diaz Masvidal?
Yes. Diaz said he was going to be out.
Yeah.
A week and a half ago, unless USADA overturned the bullshit.
Yeah.
USADA caved. Nate Diaz is like, look, man, I'm a vegan. I only eat food from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I actually believe him.
If he had tested positive for weed, I'd be like, that motherfucker smokes weed all the time. We all know it.
Well, they threw his brother out for 18 months for smoking weed.
Nate's been suspended for smoking weed before.
Yeah.
It's like, that would make sense, but Nate Diaz taking PEDs, no fucking way. We know that, like, Kit Cope is one of his trainers.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way, dude. No. Ever. He would never do that because he's too much of a fucking gangster to even think about that.
Yes.
He's like, I'll beat your fucking ass right now, dude.
And his body does not look like it's ever had one steroid in its life.
No, he looks like Gumby.
I'm bigger than Nate Diaz, for Christ's sakes.
He's not a big guy.
This is going to be a blast of a fight. So, look, we don't often talk about UFC because in my opinion, they put too many matches on that are kind of bullshit, and they're on at weird times in other countries and all that other shit. Like, get it together. The one thing that boxing does right is fights. Vegas, Madison Square Garden. Those are the big fights. You come out, everybody shows out. It's on in a decent hour. You can fucking rage. I've been waiting for this fight. I am amped about this fight. This is probably the fight of the year in my opinion. And is it weird? I know Diaz hasn't fought in a while. Is it weird that I think Diaz fucking wins this, man?
No, I've got Diaz in this fight.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Man, because everything suggests that, the way Street Jesus has been fighting, dude, that it's like, hey, that's the guy right now. Nate Diaz hasn't fought in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But I'm gonna go with it, man.
It's the reach for me. Diaz has 2 more inches in the reach, and that's the game he plays too. And he's better. He's definitely better on the ground than Masvidal is. So he can keep Masvidal at a distance. Masvidal's going to have to shoot on him probably at some point, or he's going to have to come in and deal with his elbows.
Sure.
I just think Diaz has the advantage.
I do too, and I hope the time away and all this other bullshit doesn't affect him. But I feel like nothing affects this guy. So I'm amped to watch this Saturday night. This will definitely make up for the lack of college football games.
Yep.
We'll be watching the UFC.
Let me see what the odds are on this bullshit. I actually haven't looked today yet.
Fight night. Yeah, pull it up because it's been going up and down depending upon whether or not he was going to fight and all that other shit. In the meantime, while you look that up, I made a trade offer to somebody in the Cutthroat Killers League, right? I thought this was a decent offer. Mark Ingram II, who has had a so-so year.
Mm-hmm.
I offered him Scary Terry and Will Fuller 5. Will Fuller 5 is out for a couple more weeks, but like Scary Terry's had better numbers than Mark Ingram all year. Mm-hmm. Who's this guy? Who said no to this? Dake. He's in our Cutthroat Killers League. Lucas Dake is who it is. Weird, Lucas. You're 1-6 too. Like, what the fuck are you living for anymore? Why are you alive? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would take that. I mean, why
Fantasy football, if you're 1-6, man, I don't even know if you
maybe he's just a hater.
Your team. Maybe he hates me.
He may. Well, probably. A lot of people do.
Nope,
by the way,
by all.
Diaz is plus 135 and Masvidal is minus 165.
Ooh.
So I'm taking.
You can win some real money in that one then.
Yeah.
It means, by the way, plus 135 means if you bet 100, you're winning back $135. So that's great. What is Masvidal, you said?
Minus 165.
Minus 165. So that's not so great.
No.
If you put $100 down, you're only winning 65 back on your money.
Yeah.
But Diaz is not favored. I'm going to put some fucking quiche down on Diaz, just because it's going to be a blast to watch. And I hope it's a war. I really do. I hope it's a 5-round war. I've been looking forward to this fight all year.
Well, one thing is definitely not going to happen is he's not going to sneak up on Diaz and knee him in the fucking face and end the fight in 7 seconds.
No.
So that's not going to happen.
That is definitely not going to happen. The other thing that might happen, though, in the UFC, this is to watch out for next week, is McGregor says he's fighting in January 18th, which is right before SHOT Show, by the way. I want to put that out there for you.
Is he fighting in Vegas?
He's fighting in Vegas, January
Jesus.
18th. And the rumor is it's going to be Cowboy Cerrone, which would be a rad fight.
It would. I honestly don't even give a shit about watching Conor McGregor fight anymore until he gets back in the ring and shows that he's not a pussy. Because he, like, that fight we watched, Khabib, yeah. Like, he didn't do shit.
Tried. Khabib's the best in the world. I don't know who's beaten Khabib, to be honest with you.
No one.
I was saw Brendan Schaub was like, man, maybe Ferguson. I don't know, man.
Like, who's
Khabib
going to beat him?
Dominant.
Yeah, he's too good. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to beat him for a while.
I don't either, man. So I don't know if that's McGregor's fault, but this would be a fun fight to watch. These two fuckers, these little fuckers going at it, be a blast.
They're tiny little men.
No, with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger.
Yeah,
I'd love to see this fight. So hopefully this gets signed. Cowboy just threw out a tweet that just said, sign the damn deal, man. So it's out there, and it looks like it might go down. That'd be fun. This show has been fun, Dan.
Yeah. I don't know why McGregor is even bothering with the UFC at this point. Like, he's got enough clout to do his own fights. He did it with Mayweather. He made more money on that deal than he'll ever make in the UFC.
He could, and he could flip it over to that Dazn, which is the worst name for an app of all time, DAZN. Like, come on, guys. You got great product. They bought up all the top boxers, and that was smart. But that is the worst name for an app maybe ever. I don't know why I didn't swap over there and try to squeeze out. If you didn't really give a shit about fighting, right? But I think he's making so much money off the whiskey. I think it's an Ashton Kutcher thing where you just act to act and stay famous. Mm-hmm. And I think with McGregor, he could be just fighting to stay famous enough, but he's got to win at some point for people to start giving a fuck about his antics in public. So I think he needs to take this fight and he needs to fucking win. Therefore, I would want to see it. But Diaz against Street Jesus on Saturday night doesn't get any better than that. Maybe that's why college football just said, hey, man, we're taking a backseat to this. We don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Let's put that Florida-Georgia game on at 3:30, and you guys can go have your UFC plans that night. Happy $1,000, D'Anthony. This was fun. I'm going to go to my child's teacher conference here.
Good. We're not ready to announce our thing just yet, but it does have to do with that.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned. Pretty soon we're going to make a big announcement, Ross and I.
Tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to drain the creek tomorrow, I believe. Placards are made. Stuff's in the oven. Buns are in the oven. People are getting pregnant.
Yeah.
You can feel safe to have children in Wilmington again. We'll tell you all about it tomorrow. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros Sports Companion Show. Good afternoon and good nights, everyone.